We finally have made it to see if Cody Rhodes will finish his story as we celebrate 40 years of defined legacy and continue to forge even more history. The entire world has been put on notice, and WWE might make professional wrestling completely interesting in a different way again as we take things to a whole nother level. To the city of brotherly love we go as we come together to simply predict in its entirety WrestleMania 40. Let's freaking go. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another session of Simply Predicting. With, of course, I am nothing more but the simple man, the voice of the jam man, perfect great for professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noel Foster with my color analyst, and he and I are going to call the entire weekend. Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams, the man with all the stats, and I know it's approved, Stat Boy Mikey, and the man that will be there live part of the experience and always reliable to talk with about this too, Walter Cruz. Gentlemen, we have finally arrived. It is that weekend of the year where everything comes underneath one roof, and we are going to Philly this year, and it's hard to believe we've made it this far, this long. WrestleMania 40. And thank you to those that are tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Kate Rare, good to see you. And yes, there will be a predictions league form once this video concludes in the comments down below and all my social media plugs as well. As my simple agenda is just getting started, and I'm going to leave it at that, as I think we should definitely go right into it. Before we do, quick, simple thoughts. I know this man is more than excited because he's going there. God bless your wallet. Walter, how you feel about WrestleMania 40? And what is he predicting for the first time ever?
Thanks. Yeah, bless my wallet indeed. I'm looking way for. It's amazing how quick this came. Like, I remember them showing the graphic saying like 180 days away and thinking, man, that's so far. And look how quick this came, man. The calendar just cool. But yeah, I'm like, if we're gonna put a number on it, I'm like 10 right now. And like, there's some matches I look forward to more than others, but the fact that I'm there, I'm here for all of it.
Damn right. I think that's safe to say. Kate Rare showing his excitement, has been excited since Mania 17. And for those that want to try and dictate the conversation, donate to Dictate at Cassidy 18 Studios. Super chat, simple as that. I am not monetized. I'm just happy to encourage support, love, and happiness and enjoyment in sports entertainment and professional wrestling. Damn it. And I don't digress. JJ, this is going to be your greatest testament to commentary to date, and arguably the greatest WrestleMania experience for you, knowing the final boss finally comes back to the ring too. But how you feel about WrestleMania 40, my friend?
Man, if I said I was looking forward to this weekend, it would be an understatement.
Right?
I was looking forward to WrestleMania last year when WrestleMania was in my backyard, when Roman and Cody had their first round. I get to call a match with The Rock, y'all. Like, this is it for me. This is as big for me as you and James calling Stone Cold Steve Austin 2 years ago.
Right?
I have been riding with Dwayne since August of 98 when I first got into wrestling. I have never wavered on the people's champ. He has always been my champ. So to be able to sit in this seat next to you, watch this on my big screen, and to be able to call the action of the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, I get the same goosies that he gets still coming out and feeling the electricity.
Yeah.
And on top of that, my girl, that bitch, finally gets to silence her haters and her critics.
And this man's going to beat her life. Well, there you go. And I think that hype, that enjoyment, that excitement, that investment is definitely, don't have the graphic, Stat Boy approved, because he is the man with the stats, and I always approve his presence and his work. Always appreciate him. My fellow game show enthusiasts. Stat Boy Mike, welcome back to Super Predicting. How are you feeling about WrestleMania 40 in Philly?
Pun intended, This is the crossroads as to where they're going to go with the title, with Roman, with Cody, with Rock. You're going to go one way, you're going to go the other way. It's not necessarily going to be right and maybe called wrong. This is always been, WrestleMania has always been the crucial intersection in your wrestling life. We're not behind the wheel. Triple H is.
I got
So
shotgun.
okay, yeah, okay, good. We're just along for the ride, and it's going to be one hell of a ride. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, I'm going to be in my chair on Saturday night. I'm still working on Sunday night. A few little things that come up, and I'm going to get there. If I miss Sunday night, it's okay. But I'm going to be here with you guys as long as I can. And trust me, if things go wrong, controllers will be flying, chairs will be thrown, TVs will be broken, a few choice words will be spoken, drinks will be spilled, and there could be some huge fires if your grill falls over. Get the party started now.
Good grief. Might be a whole different form of a revolution. Anarchy abound. All right, well, fair enough. Well, I think we got everybody's initial hype and excitement galore. And again, arguably, this is my most excitement for WrestleMania since WrestleMania 19. So I think without further ado, as the chat talks about their great expectations, their WrestleMania experiences. And again, please continue to appreciate y'all's engagement. And again, if you all have a prediction towards the match we talk about, I will also put on the screen. But without further ado, gentlemen, we got 13 matches. Let's get right into it. As you all know, there are 7 matches officially for Saturday and 6 made officially for Sunday. And it all culminates to see if Cody Rhodes finishes the story. Well, let's go ahead and kick things off what I think is going to be a fair way to open Saturday's festivities. Because last time I checked, when there was ladders involved, it was usually our opener. So here we go. We have a 6-pack challenge ladder match for the WWE Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. All these teams qualified, which I also can appreciate. And of course, you have the champions. You have A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, Austin the Truth with R-Truth and The Miz, Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Senior Money in the Bank, and Finn Balor, who still hold the titles. DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, the New Days, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And I believe their name is New Catch Republic, but they will always be British Strong Style to me. Bruiserweight Pete Dunne and Big Strong Boy Tyler Bate. The way this match is going to go is that both sets of titles are going to be suspended above the ring, and the match does not end until both sets of titles are seized. Now, suspension of disbelief almost leads me to believe that we might have 2 champions here. Imagine that, which is why we are each going to do 2 picks. Your primary is worth 2, just in case somebody does grab all 4, because why not? And secondary is worth 1. So, case in point, you could get 3, you could get 2, could get 1, you could get none. So this is very up in the air. We're going to go around the horn as we always do clockwise with somebody leading off. And then as far as this match goes, we'll get each other's spots. But other matches will be more based on agree or disagree discussion. JJ, let's go ahead and kick this shebang with you. 6 teams, 2 sets of titles. What do you see happening? Is it Judgment Day for the Judgment Day, or somehow do they overcome the odds and hold all the gold still and retain?
I definitely think that this is where we're going to start to see the cracks in the Judgment Day. We've already kind of seen it the last couple weeks where Priest is kind of getting upset at Dom for making moves without consulting the rest of the team. A few months back, we had the dissension between Priest and Balor. Of course, it took a while before JD McDonough was accepted within the Judgment Day. So I definitely see this as the beginning of the end of the faction that ironically came together, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
That's
beginning
correct.
at WrestleMania?
Yep.
So I definitely feel that Judgment Day are going to lose their straps. The question becomes, to whom?
Ooh.
My number 1 choice is the Awesome Truth. They have been the forerunners in the story. Truth was trying to be a member for a while. He was kind of like the Sami Zayn for a cup of coffee, for not near as long as Sami was in the bloodline, but he was kind of like that honorary Judgment Day member for like a couple of weeks, maybe a month, before they were like, okay, no, we're not rehashing this shit that we did with Sammy. We're just going to pull the trigger and get rid of you now. So Awesome Truth, I think, are definitely the forerunners. My number one pick. My number two pick. That's where things get interesting.
Right. You think there might be a second team? You think the champions are going to separate the
I
title?
definitely think the titles are going to separate. But I don't think that any of the other teams in this match are going to be the set of champions.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get a last minute addition to the match because as of yesterday, a certain tandem from a certain organization that is fond of crossing the line became free agents.
Yeah.
My second pick is the Motor City Machine Guns.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. All right. That's fair. The last time we had a tag team ladder match, the Hardys came back to WWE back at WrestleMania 33. So that's not too far out of the suspension of disbelief. So,
and there's rumors that Matt's contract is up with AEW and he's trying to get Tony to release Jeff. But I feel like it would be way too predictable to redo the Hardy Boys as a return in a ladder match. Plus, do we really need Jeff Hardy in a ladder match after getting concussed by Sammy Guevara in his final televised AEW match? My answer is no. But the Machine Guns making a statement at WrestleMania. They just did TV tapings a couple weeks ago at the 2300 in Philly. Those are now airing as part of Impact.
Yep.
I think that could be very, very interesting.
I again, at this point, everything's up in the air when it comes to Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and with everything they did to bring back Live to TNA and what they have given to tag team wrestling, one of the most influential tag teams of the last decade across the board in the industry. I would not rule it out, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing that. I just would hope that would mean we get some new straps for each brand respectfully, but that's just
last I heard, and again, this is just a rumor, but last I heard, new titles have been made and minted. I'm sure they're just waiting for this match to happen, for the separation to occur, and then Raw and SmackDown after Mania, they will probably debut those new titles. As far as Cape Ray about the Dudleys, last I heard, Devon was kind of banged up, not really as mobile as he used to be. You think about TNA Impact 1000, he was there, but he pretty much just kind of stood on the apron, didn't do a whole lot in the ring. You don't want Devon to get into a ladder match. He was scared of heights anyways.
He was always scared of heights.
So, yeah, I don't think the Dudleys, although it would be a hell of a pop in Philly, in ECW territory, but I think the odds-on favorite, if a team is getting inserted, is the Machine Guns, and that's why they are my number 2 pick.
All right, that's a fair analysis. Walter, what's your take on all that? Do you agree with those picks? Do you have maybe your own ideas and thoughts? Do you think it only will be one team? Go ahead, your 2 picks.
I definitely think they'll separate. I like that idea of the Motor City Machine Guns because everybody has their fandom, and what a way to make an impact, pun intended, if they win the title and all of a sudden you make big stars out of them, because then the WWE people that don't know who they are will immediately go to Google and be like, who are these two? And they'll look that up. But in terms of surprise returns, you can also do Big E can come back and help the New Day. That'll be a big pop too. So, but I think with the goofiness of R-Truth, we all know he makes little mistakes. I think there's a spot in there. I got to put it out there. I do think Awesome Truth is going to pull one set. But I really think that R-Truth is going to end up messing up and pull one red title and one blue title. And then everybody's going to be like, what are you doing? And like, I just feel like the comedic timing, that's going to do something like that's going to happen. They're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Then they got to put both titles back up because it's like, why did you grab one of each set? Supposed to grab matching titles. I can't see that. I mean, I can see that because of R-Truth. But I do think Awesome Truth are going to pull one set of titles. And then I believe DIY will pull the other ones. And one of them is going to have to go to SmackDown. One of those teams. They are a group, but they're going to have to split. And one of them's going to have to go to SmackDown because I think both of those teams are winning.
All right. That's fair.
And then, not only that, but that's a way to get... go ahead.
I was going to say, to piggyback real quick off of your R-Truth idea, considering that one year he came out to the Royal Rumble thinking it was a Money in the Bank ladder match, I could see him getting clotheslined over the top rope and trying to go back to the back thinking he got eliminated from the Royal Rumble as well.
Or he throws everybody else out over the top rope and thinks that he wins and points towards nothing.
That'll be hilarious. But the reason I think DIY will get shifted over to SmackDown, they'll pull the blue titles, is for Johnny Gargano to get away from Candice LeRae, because even though that's his wife, she's on this weird heel thing, and you don't want Johnny Gargano associated with that if you're going to make him this mega face. So the way to separate them is they pull down the SmackDown titles and you keep them on SmackDown and keep Awesome Truth on Raw.
All right. That's fair. I do think with the fact we are 50-50 in the tag teams from the brands in this match here, there could be maybe a possible switch for a couple. Statboy, what's your thoughts on this six-pack challenge? Do you have one team or two teams? Do you agree with either of these men's outlook, or do you have your own? What's your take on the tag team division?
Number one, this match is going to be a train wreck. Forget the cards. It's going to be, there's going to be ladder spots left and right. Somebody's going to get hurt. There's going to be sick bumps left and right. You know that's going to happen. I do agree with JJ and with Walter that on Awesome Truth as my number one pick. Judgment Days, they've had the belts long enough. They've had a good run, so the cracks are there. So I say go with that. As far as the second set, if the second set takes place, I'm going to go and with the as much as I want to see the New Day have some gold again, I'm going to say that the odd teams. I'm going to go with Gargano and Ciampa. I'm going to go with DIY as the second pick. They are a good match. They are a good team. They work well together in the ring, and they deserve a good push. So give them a run with the bells. Give them a 3-4 month title. Why not? It works. If Judgment Day miraculously pulls this off and they decide to throw the breakup part out the window and we're fine. We're gonna do this, and they somehow survive by keeping the belts, that's a miracle in itself. So we're going to go Awesome Truth, and we're going to go DIY.
Same thing as Walter. I agree with the whole Awesome Truth thing because they were the first ones that were thrown into the fire in this whole Judgment Day storyline, and now the tag titles are playing the extra role of what's meant to be fought for in the end. But the other team potentially grabbing a set of straps and finally separating these two is complete suspension of disbelief. It's DIY's WrestleMania debut, by the way, in this tag team. I just want to put that out there. It's not a shocker. And the New Catch Republic fought these guys in Elimination Chamber and lost. To my knowledge, I don't think New Day have faced the Judgment Day for the titles. And A-Town Down Under, it's just such a random pairing that works from an egotistical standpoint that, honestly, they could come in and sneak out the back door. Let's not forget, Austin Theory was inserted in Money in the Bank ladder match, and he won it. So he's got history there, and you know that for a fact. But I think right now, just based on where we're at, sitting up Brotherly Love, two brothers getting them, the titles need to be separated. I'm going with the majority here. I agree with both you and Walter Statboy. I'm going to go with the fact they're going to separate them and say DIY gets them. Now, if J-Day's suspension relief comes true, then I give this match to him 110%. But I do think the Motor City Machine Guns could show up in WWE and challenge for the titles. And when I think about what match I would want, I would love to see DIY versus MCMG. So I'm going to go with Awesome Truth and DIY. Yes, Will.
I just want to throw it out there. Don't forget also that Priest has that Money in the Bank briefcase, and he can lose here and then do something with it later, a la Seth Rollins lost his first match, then he did something bigger at the end of the night with that Money in the Bank. So don't forget that that's out there as well.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, Walter, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the bonus question: is will we get a cash in?
It's the bonus question.
I was gonna say though, is like if I had to pick a second team just from the 6 teams, I'd go with A-Town Down Under because of exactly what you said. Because they're smarmy, they're sneaky. I think it would be everything that we need to help boost those two by giving them the straps, and especially if Logan Paul walks out with his United States champion, because they've kind of sort of been affiliated with him lately anyways. And then just remember who called this as a stable. I was saying back before Waller even came up, put Theory, put Waller together, put them with The Miz. That part didn't happen. And even for some celebrity involvement, throw them with Logan Paul. They all had, at the time when Miz was still heel, very similar, cocky, arrogant, better than you, viral superstar gimmicks.
Yep.
Tag straps would do nothing but boost them. But I stick with my machine guns.
That's fair. I'll make a note about the actual team on the graphic just because you said that, though. That's fair. And again, if nothing else, the number one thing we hope out of this: 1, no injury, and 2, separate the tag titles. Period.
Yes, please.
Yes, boy. Simple as that. Your Pretty Deadly team isn't even involved in this thing. Thank goodness. Dadgummit. All right.
And for some more Pretty Deadly entertainment, go back to the open mic night karaoke where I sang that theme song. It's in the archives across the entirety of the multiverse of media.
Oh, delay. Well, that being said, Walter, let's go ahead and give you this because it's once again a battle of father and son in tag team form. As it is Legado del Fantasma and Judgment Day, to JJ's point earlier, maybe forming some sort of alliance. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Sounds like too many cooks in the fire. Taking on Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Greatest luchador of all time, arguably with the greatest luchador going, if we're being perfectly honest here. And this all stems from the fact that Dominic Mysterio, I think, has been bitter since last year after losing to his father. I don't think Dom is going to be satisfied until he beats his father on the grandest stage. And we talked about before, how much more does Rey Mysterio have left, okay? How much longer can Rey Mysterio go? When does Dominic Mysterio have his moment? Does it finally happen now with the assistance of Santos Escobar, or is there something else maybe outside of this we're not thinking? Walter, it's on you. Take it away. What's your thoughts on this tag match? Who you got winning?
I was wishing that it was Dom versus Rey one-on-one, Mask versus career, and Dom would have finally ended Rey's career and earned the respect. Like, that's what I wish they did, but they threw this random tag match together. Now, a lot of people are saying that Dragon Lee is the next Rey and he's LWO and this is his debut, but why would he lose? But after watching SmackDown and seeing that face that Carlito made, like, what the hell? I'm standing right next to you and you pick this dude? I'm thinking Carlito's going to have something to do with this and turn heel, and then we get a Dragon Lee Carlito feud made strictly out of jealousy. So I say the heels win. Dom and oh my God.
Santos Escobar.
Santos, thank you. Wait,
You're
Jesus,
welcome.
brain fart. Santos and Dom win, but it's because of Carlos' interference, and that might lead to Dom joining, like, LWO was the Latinos' answer to NWO. I think this might be a Latino coming together version of Judgment Day, and Dom's going to join some kind of group with these guys in Andrade, and we get a Latino version of Judgment Day. But I think it is Dom and Santos going to take this because of Carlito.
First off, we do not need NWO reincarnated where it freaking went off in meiosis and made 15 other factions, all right? I'm just saying. It's not 2000 and...
Including the original LWO.
Right? Anyway, does anyone have a disagreement regarding that? Because I agree. Again, Dom lost last year, and clearly Carlito, I think, right now has felt like he got shaft. And if we know Carlito, he's not going to think that's cool. This is literally a battle of Lucha Libre World Order. Period. So, anyone have a disagreement here before we move on? Going once, going twice.
I don't have a disagreement, but I did want to just point out that it's not as random as Walter thinks that it is, because you got to remember Santos is touted as the emperor of Lucha Libre,
See,
and Ray's been calling Dragon Lee the future of Lucha Libre. I think I agree pretty much with what Walter said, but I think it's going to be interesting if Dom does join another faction is going to be taken over by a Mysterio. The LWO was supposed to be Ray and Santos, and Ray kind of took the leadership over, brought people in that Santos didn't really want added. Now we've got Legado del Fantasma on the main roster, and if Dominic comes in, that could end up taking it over from Santos yet again.
Yeah, it's almost like is Don Mysterio the puppet master here? And then we're talking about, again, Latino World Order, Battle of Lucha Libre greatness. Let's not forget, Dominic Mysterio's not only working with Legado Fantasma, he's also been incorporating the services of one El Idolo Andrade, who again will also be involved in the Dre this Friday. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so is Dominic Mysterio, Andrade, and Santos Escobar all going to form their own super LWO that's supposed to be in conjunction with Judgment Day? Or is Dominic Mysterio maybe trying to branch out beyond Judgment Day himself? It feels like there's more to this than meets the eye, but there's a lot of Lucha Libre pride and emphasis on the line. And it's not even just the format and the graphic.
Nope. And I love the fact that you brought Andrade up, because I completely spaced about that. Andrade is going to fill the role of Carlito, the guy that Dom brings in and Santos starts getting jealous of.
Exactly.
Even if Carlito turns heel and joins them, it's going to be that type of character. And we're in Philadelphia. As long as we get a Zelina and Electra cat fight, I'm good.
Oh, good Lord almighty.
Yeah, you know what else is undermining? What else you could do a story? Don't forget, Priest is Latino. What if they force him? You got to pick Judgment Day or this new Latino, and that's its own story. Not that I would want that, but I mean, you can throw that out there too, because he's Puerto Rican, he's Latino. It might be a pride thing, or he could just branch off on his own with that case.
True. And honestly, if he has the gold, you would think he would have even more say than Dominic Mysterio. Who's to say Damian Priest doesn't want to lead now? Again, I think Judgment Day is never going to be the same come after WrestleMania. It starts with the fallout, I think, from this match particularly, and the ladder match. That being said, let's go ahead and keep moving on. Good stuff. As I now ask you for your gratitude, for your reigning, defending Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Sterling Gunther. And will Sami Zayn be Rocky or not? It is Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship against one's favorite Muppet and Ragdoll sometimes, Sami Zayn. And for a match that literally was built out, 4 weeks when you think about when Sami Zayn won that gauntlet and you think Chad Gable should be the one to do it. Chad Gable playing the role as coach, displaying integrity, intelligence, and intensity, trying to draw out what made Sami Zayn a world champion in the first place in NXT. Although a former Continental Champion holder, I feel like these vignettes have given me a little bit of suspension of disbelief, because it's almost like Chad Gable will be the guy that says, "You did it, Sammy! You did it!" Celebrate with him in the ring. How fitting in the home of Rocky. Dun, 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 dun. I don't even think they did the whole thing with the thing on the steps. But again, I look at Gunther, I think about the fact that he has broken every record in this company's history regarding that championship. He is beyond ready to be world champion. But I don't know if it comes with him relinquishing the title or somebody taking the title off of him. And it's WrestleMania. We want to create moments, right? We want to finish stories. We want to send the people happy. We want to send the people ready. You want to give every emotion possible. It's the mecca of them all. It's sports entertainment. after what I saw Monday night, I almost feel like Sammy has a chance. So I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I have not seen all the Rocky movies, so someone else can correct me on all those facts they want. But I'm going to kick this thing off and see if maybe there is some swaying argument here. I think Sammy wins it. I'm going to say that Sami Zayn becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. So that's my stance. So does someone want to make an argument for Gunther, despite the fact he's done everything possible and beat everybody possible while holding this title, not named Ilya Dragunov? Well, once.
He has not done everything just yet.
What do you mean?
Don't get me wrong. I love Sammy. I love El Generico. He's a great guy. He's a great wrestler. But the way that I'm reading the story is he wants to be a champion so bad. I don't see him being the one doing it, even if it is at WrestleMania. I'm sorry to say, Gunther's long reign is going to continue a little bit longer. If this match was any other match other than WrestleMania, maybe in the next couple of months, I would pick Sammy hands down. Gunther is just too high right now, and he needs to go higher. He needs to be the champion that I'm actually liking, that has a long reign. He's a monster. I get it. Of course, Rocky IV had the line, he's not a machine, he's a man, especially if Sammy makes Gunther bleed at WrestleMania, if that could be a thing. My pick is Gunther wins this match.
And there we are, 1-1. I love seeing that sometimes. JJ, what do you got to say?
Rocky IV also had the line, if he dies, he dies, but let's not go there.
Let's not.
Sammy's not going to die. Come on.
He'll stay down for a 10 count in the best case scenario. But go ahead, JJ.
They haven't done the Rocky steps yet.
No.
They still could do that as a vignette leading into the match.
Yes.
They're pretty much in Philly now. They could be filming it. They could air it as part of SmackDown. We know Jey Uso's going to be on SmackDown. He's a Raw superstar. Brand split, LOL, I know, but it's also a little bit different in the go home to WrestleMania. So they could air it there. They could air it during the pre-show kickoff for WrestleMania, but I think Sammy's going to take it.
Hey!
However, there's a twist. I think Gable's going to take it off of him the next night on the Raw after Mania.
You literally took the thought right out of my mind, because
I feel like Gable, having trained Sammy, having mentally and physically prepared Sammy's being the babyface that he is going to feel like he owes the first match to Gable. And then comes the little quote that's often said, I taught him everything he knows. I didn't teach him everything I know. The only reason Gunther would retain is if him makes a Raw debut off of the heels of Stand and Deliver and takes the title off of Gunther.
All right.
Or the Mad Dragon, either one. But if we get a NXT call-up the Raw after Mania, get Gunther in the ring, given the whole I've beaten everybody who's left to beat. Dun, 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 and have Mello's music hit. That could be a way to do it.
I'm just going to say this. 2 things before I give it
and
to
Sean,
Walter.
By all means, tune in, pay attention. We're talking about that right now.
Again, people, Anyway, I'm just going to say this before I give it to Walter. I love the fact we got a conversation out of this match. Thank you, Gunther, again, making the Intercontinental Championship more important since 2016.
Dare I say it's almost more important than Roman's title?
I acknowledge that.
Point.
Anyway, that's a whole different conversation to come up. I do think there's going to be call-ups, and I do think that the Intercontinental Championship will not be on Gunther come Raw after Mania. But I think it should start here with Sami Zayn having the moment. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Walter, 2-1 right now. Where do you stand there, Canelo Championship? Did not think it was going to be the split.
I thought Gunther for sure was going to win until Raw. When I saw Raw, that little montage made me think Sammy has a chance. But I'm going to go with the man who shares a name with me. I got to go with Gunther. But just imagine, let me throw something out. I'm not spoiling my later prediction because I'm not saying Drew will win. Imagine Drew versus Gunther, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior in Scotland at Clash. They announced that it's in Scotland. Imagine these two. Banger of a match, main eventing for the world title, and you get to unify the title. He doesn't lose the IC title. You get that Hulk Hogan moment in Scotland.
Or you do it at Bash in Berlin.
Or you do it at Bash in Berlin. Like, can you imagine that? This is ridiculous that happened. But I think you guys are right. I think he loses it on Raw with some debut from NXT, like you were saying. I was thinking that somebody gets called up, either Carmelo or I would love it if it's Trick, but I don't want to lose Trick out of NXT because he's got too much story still going on. But other people have been in the main rosters, like Braun Breaker, and still on NXT at the same time. So you never know. But I would love it because I can at least Trick is a little more believable because then he's this big dude who came out of nowhere and then he beats Gunther. I would love it. But I think Gunther retains at WrestleMania and loses on Raw, just like you guys just said. But I think he walks out of WrestleMania still IC champ.
That's fair. We'll get more into Trick tomorrow when we do Stand and Deliver, but I feel like Melo has done his time in NXT to deserve the main roster call-up, whereas Trick has only been really an active competitor for not even a year yet. So Trick definitely still has to put his work in. His character is there.
Damn right.
Melo's. He needs to walk that line just like Melo did, just like Braun did. Show he can do a little bit of everything.
My only issue is that Carmelo just went heel, and I think if he does this and beat Gunther, they'll start cheering for him.
Well, it's the Raw After Mania. It's the Bizarro world. It's the ultimate crowd. They cheer heels, they boo faces, and it's about those moments that you don't expect any other night but this. So, in a way, it still makes sense. And again, Melo, don't miss. Although he may whoop that Trick, but we'll talk more about that again tomorrow. Did I mention how excited I am for Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes? Just saying.
Have we mentioned how excited we are for all the shows this week?
Good point. But that being said, hey, Stat Boy, how excited you are for this? Because I'm just going to ask this right now, not to start a fire. Y'all still want Mommy on top? It's Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against the man, Becky Lynch, where at the end of the day, it all started with Becky Lynch seeing if she is still better than Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley's made it personal to the point that she believes that she could be a better mommy than the mom to the very daughter of Becky. Damn. We saw how personal this got to the point that Becky has invaded podcast forums that Rhea Ripley's been on, asking her to come out for a fight, and arguably been putting in way more work than Rhea Ripley since Elimination Chamber. It's one of those things where right now, I'm not even looking at the title. I'm looking at the statement. Becky's out to prove a point. I think Rhea right now is trying to remind Becky exactly who she is versus what Becky maybe was. Again, proverbial phrase, to beat the man, you got to be the man, right? Well, the man's about to send Rhea Ripley once again to the big time. Rhea Ripley beat one of the 4 horsewomen of my NXT last year, and arguably the WWE Women's Match of the Year, if not one of the best women's matches we've ever seen. Can this surpass last year where it's not the queen, it's Becky Lynch? Stat Boy, it's on you. Take it away. Your thoughts on this match. Does the man put Mommy in her place? Or is Mommy still on top always?
Mommy has had a good run. She's held the title a year. That's good for her. Can Mommy still keep going? Absolutely. Should she keep going? I'm slightly leaning towards Rhea on this because of the Judgment Day, okay? If the Judgment Day, if the cracks start falling and she doesn't have that title, will it make a difference? In my opinion, yes. We know Rhea can handle herself on her own, fine, but she also needs to have that extra little thing. And that extra little thing is, of course, the women's title.
I
This will be the 8th time they fought against each other. Don't have all this stuff. This is match number 8 between them. I'm very proud of Becky. Congrats on being a new U.S. citizen. Congrats on the book. Bring the book tour to Tennessee so I can meet you and add another book to my collection. Do I see Becky as champion? Not just yet. Mommy stays on top. Mommy keeps the belt, and Mommy walks out of WrestleMania still as champion.
All right. So we have one for Rhea Ripley's brutality remaining dominant and the world champion. Do we have a disagreement? Going once. Going twice. Guess what? It's unanimous.
How's that book, Jay?
Yeah, how's the book, by the way?
think
Get your
Mommy
comment on
wins.
Facebook today, folks.
Listen, I called Becky winning how long ago and saying she was going to be the one that win WrestleMania. But the fact that Cash was announced that even it's not Ireland, it's Scotland, next door neighbor. But
Right.
I think Becky, it won't be the cleanest win. Mommy walks away. Becky gets that rematch at Clash, and then that's when she wins in front of the European crowd, her hometown, not her hometown because she's from Ireland,
Yeah.
not Scotland. But I think she gets that big moment there, not here, not in Philly, not in WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I like Becky, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I bought her book.
Right.
But and I have a whole rant I can go on about that. If you want me to rant about getting Becky's book, $20 super chat.
But
But I like Becky. She needs to be a belt chaser. Her and Charlotte and Sasha, I know she's in AEW right now, and Bailey kind of had their time as the horsewomen.
Yep.
We need to build up and elevate some of these other women as legitimate threats, contenders. Everyone knows I'm not her biggest fan, but could you imagine Candice LeRae dethroning Rhea with the attitude she's been on lately?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what about Indy, who got
Personally,
screwed
yeah.
over last year? You know,
Yeah.
injured, had to drop the title. There's a lot of women on the Raw roster that could benefit from defeating Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tiffany
I
Stratton on Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Oh, damn it.
She's on SmackDown, but
For now.
there's probably the draft going to be coming up very soon. She could always get jockeyed. You know,
Mhm.
Triple H likes to keep couples together. Ludwig Kaiser is still on Raw, and that's her man.
That's right.
Mhm.
So if Imperium breaks up, he could potentially move to SmackDown, or they could possibly move her to Raw. So either way, but I just think that Mommy is going to be the sole person from Judgment Day to really kind of keep things moving.
Yeah, again, she's the only one that has remained the dominant force with her gold since last year's WrestleMania. Arguably the most effective player in the Judgment Day, despite the fact that Mysterio has had far more matches than her. And the caliber of competition comes down to booking, where everybody's been put into an IKEA tag team. I mean, seriously, her biggest threat was Nia Jax in what felt like a Raw level main event down under. And Ivy Nile is like the only original she's faced one-on-one as far as raising new top single stars. Good for Ivy Nile getting that spot. But I want to see people like Cass LeRae, Indy Hartwell, Tegan Knox, who's been doing Jack Diddley for who knows how long. Chelsea Green, just because I think Chelsea Green is one of the MVP performers of the
Piper
Raw.
Niven, Natalia, Katana
you.
Chance.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going. All these
Caden I see more of a tag team wrestler, but Katana I could see is the women's champion.
Yeah, Casey Catanzaro.
They've got a stacked roster, and let's not even neglect the women down in NXT that could still get called up.
Exactly.
Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, Lash Legend, Thea Hale, freaking Roxanne Perez, Lyra Valkyria.
Yep. And also to talk about long-term storytelling, somebody that's been there but still will be a nice story plot, Liv Morgan, who was the last person, by the way, to beat Rhea Ripley. So,
we don't want Liv Morgan gets the title now. It'll spin off into more of that Vince McMahon type of stuff. People will think that she got on her knees to get the championship. We don't need that type of stuff going around right now.
Especially after everything with Vince.
But how about Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, she's supposed to be
just that's when I had my hand up. I said, hey.
We haven't seen her in a minute. She's got to be just about ready for a return, and on the heels of this Bray Wyatt documentary.
Mm-hmm.
How about Alexa Bliss coming out of nowhere?
That's the whole reason I had my hand up. I said, don't forget that's free. Or how about this? Like, let me preface by that. This is not a rumor. I'm pulling this out of my ass. Imagine somebody returns to the company like Mandy Rose out of nowhere and Rhea won the match.
Never say never.
Is saying the thing scenario we said with Gunther. I've beaten everybody, and then all of a sudden Mandy Rose returns on Raw, gets an improv title shot and wins.
Bro, you're gonna make me freaking pull a Clint Barton here. Don't give me hope. Don't do that. Don't give me hope.
Just saying.
All right, let's.
You never know.
Because that would mean a toxic reforming on the main roster, and I would be all about that. Because God knows Gigi and JC have been floundering since that fell apart.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, Gigi's learning what it means to be a proper woman now by Santino Marella's daughter, and Jessie Jane is still in Chase U purgatory. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, who's really the most successful and not even in the ring? But yeah, at least there's a lot of suspension of disbelief with Rhea Ripley actually molding other talent if they just book the title and her correctly. I think they've been coasting with this big sell marquee on the grandest stage, the biggest star of them all, because it's WrestleMania. I mean, yeah, there's another one, Nikki Cross, another. So I want to see more women get the opportunity on Raw for Rhea Ripley's title. I don't need to see a bunch of thrown together tag teams for women's titles that are still so relevant that not even being defended at WrestleMania. So, yeah.
That's because they'll be defended either the Raw after or the SmackDown after Mania. But we'll get to that once we get to that 6-woman tag match.
Well, fair enough. And I'm sure you can't wait to talk about that. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about this. I ask you one simple question. Yeet or no yeet? Can you believe it's the first time ever that these two brothers are going one-on-one? It is Jey Uso, main event Jey, versus Bloodline still Jimmy Uso, younger brother versus older brother. And you could say that this really started back last year at SummerSlam. I think it started all the way back at Night of Champions, if not even beforehand. Who pulled the trigger? It was Jimmy. But who was the one you thought was going to do it? It was Jey. Jimmy said that, Jey, I'm doing this for you. You should have did this. I'm making sure that you don't become what the tribal chief is. But I never left the bloodline. And here you are outside of it winning tag titles with Cody. What's up with that, Oos? And since then, every opportunity that Jey has gotten, his older brother has left him stagnant, not succeeding, including facing Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. And I also agree with that. I knew he was going to say that. So I know we usually pick names, but seriously here, yeet or no yeet. There's so many different ways to look at these two. Again, we think about Owen and Brett. You think about Jeff and Matt, just talking about pairs of brothers, all right? But this is their first ever one-on-one encounter. Is the one-off? Does it lead to something bigger? Do they one day come back together? You think about Prime Target with Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams, brothers in the industry. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa's brothers in the industry. These are brothers by blood. And the only thing you're missing here is Rikishi. And he's the only one we don't know right now who has a thought about this. So, that being said, JJ, what's your thoughts on this match?
You said that it started at SummerSlam. You could really go back further to Night of Champions.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
I'm going to take it back even further.
Go for it.
This goes back to the Royal Rumble when Jimmy kicked Sammy. we all thought Jimmy and Sammy were tight. Jay was the one that was always kind of opposed to Sammy. But Jay came around when Sammy proved his loyalty. When Sammy betrayed the bloodline, who was the first one to pull the trigger? Jimmy. That's where I feel everything really kind of started between these two. That being said, no yeet.
Oh,
Think about this. Every time we've had the legitimate brother versus brother pairing, the one that needed the win the most, the less popular superstar, beat the more popular superstar. Owen beat Brett. Matt beat Jeff. Jimmy will beat Jay. If Jay wins, it's another notch in the belt. Jimmy needs this victory. Otherwise, he will probably be excommunicated of relevancy.
okay. So that's one no yeet. So, Stat Boy, Walter, yeet or no yeet?
Yeet. It's a yeet. I'm sorry. Jay got cheated out of the IC title. He needs to get that win. And I don't think the only way I see Roman excommunicating Jimmy is if by some miracle he loses the belt and he's just so ticked off at the world. Jimmy's going to be fine. Jimmy's going to stay loyal with the bloodline no matter what. It's Solo we need to worry about, who hasn't won a match in the last 35 to 40 matches, including house shows. Solo's got to start winning some stuff. Solo's the one we got to worry about, not Jimmy. Jimmy's going to be fine. He can take the loss to the more popular, the bigger draw, naming yeeting whatever the heck a yeet is, because I'm an old guy and I still don't know what the heck a yeet is. I know what a ute is, but I don't know what a yeet is, and I don't want to know what a yeet is. So I'm going to go with Jay.
Yes,
It's
JJ.
Not that one.
First, welcome, Pop. Good to see you in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Always good
Wow,
to
even
see when
Pop
my
said
dad
yeet.
pops into things. Solo doesn't need to worry about victories. His role is not championship gainer. He's the enforcer of the bloodline.
Problem
As
solver.
long as he wrecks shit to keep the championship on Roman, that is his job. Jimmy, along with Jay, were supposed to be the right and left hand of the tribal chief. Jimmy has to now pick that slack up ever since Jay moved to Raw. If Jimmy loses on this big stage, that may be enough for Roman to be tired of him. And that's great, Sean, but we're not talking about that match. Keep up with what we're talking about.
Bro, I got this, bro. It's not on the screen, bro. I got you, bro. Well, that just leaves you. And by the way, in case y'all are scoring, it's one yeet and it's one no yeet. Walter, what do you think?
I think this match sets the precedence for the bloodline. I don't think Jimmy, I'm talking in kayfabe, not real life, he can't afford to lose this match because Roman would be like, what the hell? You just cost us the momentum of both nights because we need WrestleMania to be all about bloodline, all bloodline victories. So, and I don't think this is a one and done. I think they're going to actually start a run where they're going to have more than one match. Usually the heel has to win that first match. And I'm with JJ. Well, if you look at it, Owen beat Brett, Matt beat Jeff. I'm going to say no yeet on this one. I think Jimmy pulls it out. I don't know if Solo gets involved, what happens, but somehow, no yeet. Somehow Jimmy's going to win. And not every WrestleMania match can get us the happy moment, the jumping for joy, everything. You got to be disappointed with some of these match results. And yeah, it'll be fun to see Pat McAfee jumping on the table and all of us yeeting and up and down and everything. But you can't win them all. So somehow Jimmy pulls this one off. So I'm going to go no yeet.
We talk about domino effect, cause and effect, the outlook of the bloodline as we know it. Last year, WrestleMania, Jimmy and Jay lost the tag titles, but at the end of the day, Bloodline still held the WWE down because the tribal chief remained triumphant. Here, though, there's another factor in play. That's the final boss. And I don't think it's Roman you have to worry about only here. I think the final boss may have something to say regarding Jimmy's place in the bloodline if he doesn't deliver. At the end of the day, who truly rules the bloodline? It's family above all, but who leads the family? Is it The Rock or is it Roman? Because as far as I'm concerned, Jimmy's below both of them, and Solo might be above Jimmy at this point. So I think that Jimmy is kind of in a need to win situation because before anybody else in the bloodline, he's in action first. So I say no yeet. I'm with y'all. I have to go with Jimmy Uso here.
Yeah, no. JJ, you're the movie guy. Isn't it ironic that they started this whole family when The Rock joined Bloodline and Rock's got a beef with Vince Diesel? And what are the Fast and the Furious movies all about? Family this, family that. It's ironic and funny as hell that there's family with The Rock involved, and he's part of the Fast and Furious movies, and he's got the beef with Vin Diesel. And like, am I the only one that sees that irony in there?
If anyone sees it, it's this guy. And please check out his movie reviews all the time, courtesy at Casa de 18 Studios with the Renegade Reviews. Right here on YouTube. Anyway, cheap plug. You're welcome. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to what I think is a nice way before we segue into night one's main event, because I just got one word for you. And Farouk's not here and I'm not wearing the shirt. But just look at the left side of this graphic. Damn! Trios women's action. Jade Cargill, the inaugural former AEW TBS champion. Naomi, former TNA Knockouts World Champion. And Bianca Belair, arguably the BEST of the women in WWE, former longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, who held that title over a year plus, including defending successfully last year at WrestleMania. They go after Damage Control, Asuka, Kairi Sane, almost forgot her name, and Dakota Kai. By the way, welcome back, Dakota Kai. Your first match on PLE. I'm very glad to see that. I don't think a lot needs to be said here, so seriously, are you betting? Okay, control yourself, bro. And he's smiling. I just know he's containing himself. He's just waiting for that entrance. He's just waiting for that attire. You know, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to let the men, I'm just going to let some friends talk about it. I'm going to say this. That's representation, damn it. JJ, what's your thoughts on this trios match?
Tranquilo.
Brave, brother. Brave.
More so than Cody Roman. More so than Seth Drew. More so than Jimmy and Jay. More so than the return of The Rock. This is my most anticipated matchup. Because this is put up or shut up.
Damn right.
If Jade comes out there, and I'm not going to say she was horrible in EW.
No.
Because was she green when she started? Yes. Was she better by the time she left? Yes. Was she on the level of a Bianca or a Trinity? No. I can admit and acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
But if she comes in there after all these months at the PC and is no better than her final match against Chris Statlander, then we have a problem.
Yep.
And I will have to eat my words.
Right. Humble pie.
However, if she comes out there and we see the Jade Cargill that we saw circulating on social media when videos were being released from the new dungeon and her training and her doing Steamboat-esque arm drags, I'm going to expect an entire apology from the viewing audience of the Multiverse of Media. Because they will have been proven wrong, and I will have been proven right.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank.
This is not about a result. This is a statement. Simple as that. But I am a simple man.
I am sick and tired of the hatred.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I want to make sure he gets it all out there. JJ,
I am sick
this
and
is your
tired
moment.
of the hatred. I am sick and tired of the naysayers.
This is your match. This is your moment. Let it out, bro. You and I talk about this verbatim. All good?
Yeah, I'm trying.
I know.
I'm sick and tired of the haters. I'm sick and tired of the naysayers. This is excellence on another level.
You said it, brother.
Everybody sits there and they sees these three women standing in the middle of the rain. This is what I see.
I literally said it verbatim.
A unity. I've had this image for a few days. I shared it in our group chat.
Mm-hmm.
This is a culmination of excellence that has transcended the past 12 months in this industry. Coming together for a common goal. And if y'all ain't down to take that ride, like The Rock said in 02, you can get the F out.
Oh, yeah.
Before I take this
These
image,
three women will be victorious.
there we go.
These three women will be victorious, and two of these women will be taking the titles off the Kabuki Warriors either Monday or Friday.
Oh, man.
Simple
Going
as
all
that.
in.
I'm taking. Well, who's next? I don't want to go out of order.
I mean, seriously, at this point, does anyone else need to say anything? I think he preached the gospel of her story, and I'm not going to argue
He
it.
is. And I'm going further with these three.
So am I. I mean, I'm not going to go against the team of Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. I am looking forward to this. I have heard you guys praise her so much. I want to see this, but I also want to see that bitch. I'm seeing Jade, how they're, she's coming out, great physical look, the body, the muscles, everything. Okay. I haven't heard her talk that much. I want to hear her and not just see her. I want her to project herself. All I saw was in the Rumble. The Rumble didn't give it enough. I don't know if I'm expecting too high. I'll be happy with the result when I see it, but I also want to see that bitch. And right now, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know why. It almost seems like WWE is just not letting her be because she's too new. If I'm wrong in that, stop me. You guys have been praising her and saying she's the greatest thing ever, and I want to see that so bad. Am I just being like too quick, or do I have to let it cook more? Tell me now, please.
I think this is literally when you are going to see it. Again, you saw tastes of it during the Rumble. You saw her presence. You saw her strength. Yeah, trying to see more of what she brings from a presentation standpoint, but you also want to see her vocally and physically, which I can understand. I mean, again, sometimes actions speak louder than words. You keep your words a few and you let your actions stand and deliver. This is the grandest stage to stand and deliver to. So I think, simply put, patience is a virtue. And she just signed her contract on SmackDown. WrestleMania, you're going to get your first real impression of what that bitch show is going to be going forward now and forever. JJ, I saw your hand.
I was going to ask Mike if he watched SmackDown last week.
Oh, yeah. I saw the entrance. I saw her look. I saw how she helped out Naomi and Bianca and all that. And but I'm still just not focusing on what I've been told, that she's that bitch. Where is it?
So you didn't see her come out and sign her contract and the promo she cut in the ring?
I did see that. I'm
Okay.
still seeing her as this.
Because all you're talking about is the end of the show. You're
Well,
completely glossing over the fact that she came to the ring, cut a promo, issued a mission statement, told everybody to watch their ass that she was here.
And that reaction.
then maybe I'm just wanting more. Maybe I'm wanting too much too soon. That's the only thing I can see, because if she's playing up to her name, that's not playing up to it. Just coming out and giving notice, everybody does that when they're that hyped. Everybody comes out and says, "Oh, I'm putting the locker room on notice." How many wrestlers say that when they come into a new promotion, even though they're established? I get that. Of course they're going to be on notice. They've known about her for years without her stepping foot in WWE. I'm not saying this as it's a bad thing. She has got the potential from what you guys have told me. So I think I'm just being too impatient. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think if you're expecting that bitch right out the gate, then yeah, you've got to let it cook. This is Fox she's on. It's not like she can just come out there every week talking about I'm that bitch, I'm that bitch. This isn't USA. This isn't Netflix. This is Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, you don't want to rehash her AEW character. You want her to be a different person. You don't want her to just use the same gimmick. You want her to be, and I would take this further. I want this to be a full-on group. Hear me out. You call up Lash Legend and you make this the female evolution. Lash Legend is Randy Orton's role, the baby, the new person, the one that's up and coming, the star in the making. You use Jade as Batista, the muscle. You use Bianca as Triple H because she's the championship winner. She's the longest reigning champ, the one that keeps winning championships. That you do this and you make this the female evolution. And I'm here for it. I would love that if they did that.
Well, you would be combining NXT, AEW, TNA, and WWE all under one roof. So I think you definitely have something going for you there. But if nothing else, this is transcending representation of women in professional wrestling. And I am all in on that.
And I'm not calling Naomi old. She would be Ric Flair by default, but she's the vet. She's been there the longest. Even though she just came back. Remember, she had a 7-8 year run. I think it's a decade run, actually, in WWE. She's the vet of the business. So she is the Ric Flair of the group if you make this the evolution. So I'm not, before people jump down my throat, think I'm calling her old. I'm not. I'm just saying she's the vet. She would be the Flair role in this. She doesn't need the championships. She would just be giving it on. And then she can maybe win the tag titles with them, and each of them have another title. It's too bad that there's not a woman. Not that I want any more titles, but if you did this and made this a full-on group, and you had a mid-card female title, and you get that to Lash Legend eventually, it'll be crazy if you did that.
Well, again, only time will tell. But again, as I always like to say, patience is the virtue, and as wise men here in the WWE media say, trust the process. And let's also be honest here. If we are looking at the tag titles changing hands, that means you got to have one of the tag champs part of the fall, because I think that's how you build momentum. Because to Pop's point, Dakota Kai is the only one of this right now. It's like, okay, I'm here. I dictate damage control, but I have no gold. Should I be the person that eats the fall? Is damage control stronger than ever, or are the cracks being shown once and for all without Bailey in the helm? There's something to figure out.
Cracks are being shown. But I got one more thing to say. What the hell did Asuka do to somebody in booking? Who does she piss off? Because she's got to lose yet another match. She's literally winless at WrestleMania. Who did she piss off in booking?
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, good stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about our night one main event. Again, we talked about the first domino effect, yeet versus no yeet. look, I'm all about suspension of disbelief. I'm all about, the Cinderella story, fairy tale ending. Hell, I'm working with two people that are diehard Disney fanatics. So if anyone's going to believe in magic, it's going to be the man from Chase U and the man whose name's not on my screen, but it's on the marquee. But how in God's good name do you bet against The Rock, the final boss and the tribal chief, Roman Reigns? They've been virtually unstoppable. Seriously. And this all really reached a boiling point at the friggin' kickoff conference when frickin' slap heard around the world when The Rock slapped Cody. A couple weeks later, Seth extended his tag debacle. And of course, Cody slapped The Rock. Then The Rock basically made Cody his bitch in front of his mother virtually and the entire wrestling WWE universe. And then also went, shoot, I get it. You have to have Cody maybe go 1-1, but 2-0, I absolutely just anymore. I don't know. I really don't know about this tag match. This is the hardest match for me right now to think about. And I know people can be like, what about disqualification? Again, when Roman Reigns lost his temper against Seth Rollins, he got disqualified Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. Yeah, I get that. And then again, The Rock, he hasn't been in WrestleMania for 8 years. You can't have him eat the fall, right? Well, I mean, if you look at The Rock's record, actually, it's not one of the strongest records. Remember, the last time he was at WrestleMania, he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 29. So it's one of those things where also, can Seth before the loss ahead of facing Drew McIntyre? Does Drew McIntyre even care what happens to Seth at this point? Because all he wants is the title. So, that being said, Stat Boy, I'm going to let you kick things off here. Go ahead and give your thoughts towards this tag match before we bring in our guests, of course, for night 2, because I'm sure he already shared his thoughts regarding this. But
Wow.
Stat Boy, what's your thoughts about this? Go ahead and kick things off. Do you see Cody and Seth making sure, per the final boss's word, Bloodline doesn't get involved in night 2 when it comes to Cody Rhodes finishing the story? Or pretty much, as what we've seen weeks and weeks on as their foregone conclusion, that The Rock and Roman are going to run roughshod over Seth and Cody? Go ahead.
The way things are going right now with Cody getting beat up now for the past 2 shows, I want to see The Rock get something on SmackDown. I don't know how good The Rock can go in a big time match. Remember, he had the match with John Cena a while ago. Ripped his ab clean off his ribs. He's up there in years. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that, not like it was said in Fast and the Furious, all show and no go. I don't want The Rock to get seriously hurt. Rock is great on the mic. We know this. He's pissing people off. That's what he does. He's making money for WWE. I get it. Do I want to see Cody and Roman go 1-on-1 on night 2? I'm leaning towards no. Been there, done that last year. They had a great match 1-on-1 last year. I don't know if they can do better with Cody possibly winning in night 2. With Bloodline rules in play, if they win the tag team match, then, that just makes the story a little bit tougher, but it's so much more satisfying for night 2.
Go ahead and bring in our baller.
Hey, Baller, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, fellas?
4 days to Mania, man, and we're talking about the night 1 main event. Continue, Stat Boy, and then we'll continue to go around the horn.
I almost want to say that, even if Cody and Seth do win this, Bloodline's not going to care. They're gonna make up their rules as they go along anyway. Cody needs a win at WrestleMania. I'm going to say, as my official pick, Bloodline wins.
He left it to a coin.
I left it to a coin.
That's the definition of fickle. That's Jerry Slaughter approved. I bet, Jerry. I hope you're all right. Well, first off, before we continue, I acknowledge that picture because that's a statement. Secondly, Big J, welcome to City Predicting for the first time ever. I know you just came off of No DQ, my friend. Say to No DQ. I'm glad to have you part of the fun, as I know you and Walter cannot wait to engage in the experience there live. I know you already gave your take on No DQ, but go ahead and share some of your thoughts before we give it to Walter and take it to the man about long-term storytelling last. So, what do you see happening with this tag team match? How does it affect everything about night 2?
So I did talk about this on No DQ, but I'll talk about it more here. It kind of comes full circle, with WrestleMania 40 being in Philly, and the last time they were in Philly for the Royal Rumble in 2015 with The Rock and Roman. And, I thought this match was kind of hard to predict too, but like when everybody was talking earlier, I had more to think about it. And the way that The Rock literally beat the holy hell out of Cody last week and then last night's beatdown, and you kind of want the baby faces to win. And that way it can be a clean finish for Cody on night 2. But I went the other way. I'm going with the Bloodline to win on night 1. That way we have Bloodline rules on night 2 and all hell can break loose on night. Yeah, Bloodline wins night 1. All hell breaks out between Cody and Roman on night 2 with Bloodline rules. And we'll see a whole bunch of probably interference. Maybe we'll get some surprises during that match. We'll see. But I went with Bloodline. And it should be a fun match. I mean, this is going to be the first time I'm seeing The Rock in person. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And we'll see how it goes. It definitely will be a fun match, though.
Yeah,
I will give it that.
It's going to be a testament also to The Rock's in-ring conditioning, where, again,
Right.
it's less, truly more. How far can The Rock go besides assaulting a man with a weight belt? When
Right.
Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes do this nonstop 52 weeks all year. So,
Right.
again, why it might be the ultimate obstacle for Cody and Seth, I still think it's the biggest challenge presented to The Rock, because the worst thing you could have is time away, ring rust. There's no way to necessarily, rewrite that somehow from the comfort of your mansion where you probably have a gym larger than half your freaking house. So that being said, Walter, again, even if The Rock had his fingers behind his back, and maybe we get a disqualification here, what's your outlook towards this match when it goes to what you think might happen at the conclusion of night 2?
All right. So there was little innuendos in the beating with the truck. There's little rumors about maybe a John Cena appearance or a Stone Cold. You can't have that if there's no Bloodline rules in place. So you almost have to have The Rock and Roman win this match in order to get to Bloodline rules. And not only that, they want sympathy for Cody. And the most overtold story in wrestling is odds being stacked against you and you somehow pull it out. What better way to stack the odds than to make it a Bloodline rule match for the second night? So you have to lose this match here. Who takes the fall, disqualification, doesn't matter. The prediction is who's the official winners. So Bloodline wins this because we have to get the Bloodline rules in night 2.
I almost feel like, though, with the fact they preview Bloodline rules, which, let's be honest, it's a no DQ match, on Monday Night Raw, is it really any speculation to have this on night 2? Is it necessary? I mean, it's not like you said, it's not going to happen. Can you name one Roman Reigns match that didn't involve Guy Commander Cody, ref bump, wise man distraction, etc.? Bloodline rules pretty much happen when Bloodline exists on our screen. It's truly as simple as that. And to your point earlier, who said it, Solo Sikoa is not even involved at WrestleMania. He has marching orders on Friday night. He has marching orders Monday night. And that means he could be involved. You know he's going to be involved in both Saturday and Sunday night. But I look at The Rock. I look at the final boss. I look at the man with the official last say, last word. Even if he acknowledges his tribal chief, I still think the final boss is bigger than Roman, even if family is above all. I don't look at Roman and The Rock as equals. And I think that does play into the effect of how WrestleMania plays out. And I think we might even get some subtleties of that even during this tag match. Again, We saw these two in a movie. Okay. But this is a wrestling match, all right? It's WrestleMania. Can Rock and Roman not necessarily coexist? They're family, duh. Can they get the job done together? It's one thing to be blood. It's another thing to tag and know your partner, be able to have that nonverbal communication. Tag team wrestling doesn't come overnight like that, no matter how well you know a
Hell
person.
no.
And I can say
And
the same
then-
thing about Seth and Cody. They faced each other 3 times, 1-on-1. And again, this man who's been reverberated by a weight belt, he wrestled Seth Rollins inside the Red Create Hate for 30 minutes with a torn pectoral muscle. I mean, do you really think this is going to keep Cody down? I just feel like right now, this whole entire story, this whole show, this whole saga, it's been written around finish the story, finish the story, finish the story. Regardless, Cody needs to finish the story, but how do you get there? I think you have to get here for this match. Bloodline makes a statement, but do they need a win? I don't think so. I kind of sense Bloodline shenanigans. I think it's going to end disqualification, and I'm picking Seth and Cody for the win, honestly. Because I don't think no matter what, you're not going to have Bloodline involvement in night 2. It's going to happen. And if it doesn't, well, call me a monkey's loco. I'll share my head ball. But I'm going with Seth and Cody on this.
But can you call yourself the final boss and lose?
Well, but again, I mean, how
Well,
many?
you're supposed to beat the final boss. That's how video games work.
Well, you know, people use
a video game.
People use a cheat code. People complete all the side quests. People buff themselves to level 99 to make sure that the final boss is nothing more but a mini boss that you face in the tutorial. I've done it verbatim. So again, this isn't a video game, though. This is reality. This is WrestleMania. This is seeing if Cody Rhodes has a chance in hell of finishing his story. And it starts with surviving the tribal chief and the final boss in not Mortal Kombat, but damn near it. AJ, I stayed it for last for a reason. Take it away. Your thoughts on this as you set up night 2 and what could be finished, or honestly, what might be beginning. Go ahead, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is JJ Williams. And I serve as the special counsel and wise man for Jeff Meacham and the Multiverse of Media. And come Saturday evening, it will be my esteemed pleasure and great honor to announce to you your winners, the Bloodline. Acknowledge them. Because if we're being 100% honest, bullshit shtick aside, the only way Cody is going to win on night 2, and I'm still undecided as far as that goes.
And we're going to talk about that soon.
The only way Cody wins night 2 is if this turns into a cinematic movie and the Avengers assemble.
Endgame.
Sammy, KO, AJ, Drew, Cena, everybody that Roman has ran through, coming together to make sure that the Golden Boy gets a fair shot. Orton. That's the only way Cody wins, is if he has his army to counteract the Bloodline. And the only way his army becomes legal is if it's Bloodline rules. You almost have to wonder if Cody and Seth are going to throw the match to be able to get the Bloodline rules and let their end game come to fruition.
I did not think about it like that. Honestly, if they don't give a damn about the rules night 2, they might just do everything possible to neutralize nothing else, the final boss. Didn't work so well on Monday Night Raw. Maybe they got a different plan.
And the next victory Roman gets will be victory 1000 in his career.
What?
If he's losing on night 2, he needs night 1 to get that accolade.
Oh, Lord, here we go. WWE with the milestones. Create the merchandise. 1000 victory. Acknowledge me. I could see it now. Oh, daggone it.
And Emmanuel,
too.
really quickly, you say not so much Drew, but once Drew has accomplished his mission in defeating Seth, what's to hold him back? He's got what he wanted out of it.
Yeah.
He still owes Roman one too. Acknowledge your tribal chief and your final boss. They are going to be victorious on night one. Whether Roman does it on night two as well, we'll get there in a few minutes. We got 5 other matches to talk about first.
Well, to be continued. Dun, dun, dun. Dramatic raver. All right. Well, that being said, hell of a way to segue, JJ. Let's go this Sunday, shall we? And while he has a drink, I might actually buy Prime for the first time when I go out to Walmart on Friday. So let's go ahead and talk about the United States.
Prime is awesome.
I drank it.
I have had it.
Get the strawberry watermelon. It's the one I live by.
My son forced me to buy it for him.
I've got 2 of the energy drink versions in my fridge getting cold for Saturday, Sunday, and I've got 3 of the hydration drinks over here. Strawberry watermelon flavor. Try that one.
Jeff, you and I are going to get a Prime while we're there and take a toast, and we're going to have to record it. It's us drinking Prime.
There you go.
But go ahead, Noah.
I don't
now
need
that
to
we're
say
done
anything
stepping
else.
all over you.
No, you're perfectly fine. This is what I allow, okay? It's the Prime Championship triple threat match as Logan Paul defends the United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Oh, Lord. So, yeah, this really stems off from what happened with Kevin Owens and Logan Paul back at the Royal Rumble, where one lucky shot got Kevin Owens DQ'd, and so there's emotions after using a knuckle duster and then sending Logan Paul for the table. We've seen this subtle relationship develop, though, with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens after the Fall Elimination Chamber, where Logan Paul knocked Randy Orton the F out and cost the match, allowing Drew McIntyre to win. So, again, what's my formula for a triple threat? You have buffer, you have fall person. Logan Paul, at this point, he just represents what the United States Championship is. Capitalism, especially with the freaking fact that I'm probably going to see a Prime logo in the middle of the ring, if not a Prime mascot worn by KSI again, like he did at WrestleMania 39. That being said, Snickers in one hand, Prime in another. I'm keeping this one short, sweet, and simple. I think we all will. I'm going with Logan Paul retaining. Any objection? Going once, going twice. Stick a Prime if you agree, if you have one on hand. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Save your blood pressure. All right, that was crazy. Okay.
That's funny. I thought I was going to be the only one to think he was retaining because everybody was yelling at me for saying that before.
Well, I mean,
nope.
Again,
Noah said it himself: a buffer, a fall guy, a winner. Orton's the buffer.
Yep.
He's not going to take the L. Owens is the fall guy. Logan is the snake. We've been seeing the last few weeks where Orton will RKO somebody, KO will stun somebody, and they'll get the victory. There's going to be miscommunication. One's going to hit their move on the other. Logan's going to slither in like the Viper that Randy used to be, pick up the scraps, 1, 2, 3.
Can you imagine Logan Paul trying to do an RKO?
Yes.
No.
I'm just saying. I could see it. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I could see it.
It's just a cutter. Cody has it.
I could see him trying to do it the way Sol Ruka does it and making it something even more extravagant.
Oh, the Soul Snatcher, the way that she revolutions out of the corner. I gotta admit, that's really interesting that he does that step. But again, not doing political commentary tonight, but fair analysis. So this match was brought to you by Prime. So have your Primes on hand as we all have Logan Paul retaining, and I can't believe I just said that. Damn it. That almost put a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay, Pop. Okay, we know how you feel about Orton.
Oh yeah, we know big time. The brothers.
That hatred has not changed for 22 years.
It's never going to, isn't it? It's never going to, isn't it?
No. If Pop picked Randy Orton, then I expect him to pick the Cowboys in one game next in the 2024 season. It's never going to happen.
All right. Well,
he hates Randy Orton and he never picks the Cowboys. 2 things guaranteed by Pop. Love you, Pop.
The day Pops picks Orton, JJ, you better play the lotto that same day.
The end of the world as I know it. Good grief. All right. Well, I'll fall and prey on that, but we'll see who falls and prays and gets broken here because Philadelphia is known for many things. City of bright love, but it's also the city of extreme. So WWE being PG, they still decide to be extreme. Let's talk about a street fight. As we have, what the hell they're called, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, the Pride, I think. Whatever. Taking on the Final Testament. And I would not count out Scarlett Boudreaux and Paul Ellering too far away from this. This has been going on since who knows how long, ever since AOP became once again part of the WWE. And it seems that Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross cannot seem to look past each other. Always on each other's crosshairs, costing each other on my Street Profits, AOP. It's a tag robbery waiting to happen here. This is the obligatory WrestleMania, put everybody in an extreme circumstance match, buffer moment here. And in Philadelphia, where again, I feel like ECW will be chanting more than either of these teams. Seriously, when you have a gimmick match at WrestleMania, how often does the babyface side not win? Your silence speaks volumes.
Yeah.
No, I'm going for Final Testament. They just formed a new group. I think they're going to win. And by the way, this is basically the Bloodline match known as another name, Philadelphia Street Fight. So for you people that don't know what Bloodline Rules is, here you go. It's the same shit. They just change it because it's Philadelphia and call it a Philadelphia Street Fight.
Which
a
match
hardcore match.
Which match uses more tables, though? Which match uses more tables, though? This one or Cody and Roman?
What? Speaking of tables, we're going to do the loudest we want tables chants. The Dudley Boys are going to come out, and they're going to 3D the Final Testament. Testify, my brother.
A TNA reunion all over again. Oh, good Lord.
I say Final Testament pulls this out. They need to, because you're pretty much dead on arrival and buried the group before they get started.
But I think Bobby Lashley's owned for last year. Let's not forget, he won the Dre and came out like, hi, here's my trophy. Bye. Just saying.
Yeah, so, it's Bobby's time.
I think Bobby Lashley deserves it. And has AOP been in a match yet since they've arrived in WWE?
Kind of, sort of. That never went all the way through. I think it ended up in a disqualification or something like that.
Didn't they do a squash tag match? Yeah.
Yeah.
Squash tags, go figure. All right, so Walter's the odd person out, and he's sober. So, okay. Everyone else.
I have to pick a winner in this match? Isn't this the bathroom match? I'm sorry. The last time there was a street fight like this was all the way back at WrestleMania 13.
Oh, me and JJ called that. I remember that. Yeah.
So the winner of this would be the bear going through us because this is when we got to go take our piss.
Wait, is this the match brought to us by that beer they're sponsoring that was on that bus that Cody Rhodes got his face ran into?
Oh, the vodka? No.
Yeah, that vodka thing.
No.
No? Oh, well, damn it. All right. Well, anyway, one match has to be
after this.
Look, you guys are going to be in Lincoln Memorial Field amongst the tens of thousands of people, and eventually you're going to have to go grab a drink, or you're going to have to go, what's this? There we go. You're going to have to go grab a drink, go to the bathroom, or go buy the latest shirt for that bitch. So, I mean, this is your opportunity. That's the way I see it. All right. JJ, you got anything to say? You got any got any joke remarks? Any Jerry Lawler singers? Anything? John Moxley, nope. Just
no,
John Moxley,
I'm good.
Just John Moxley, nope.
Yeah, nope.
I'm gonna be more mad that I have to spend $20 on a drink at that damn stadium than this match.
$20 on a drink. That is highway robbery in the highest degree. Oh boy. Well, Emmanuel, I'm very curious to get your take though on Thursday.
Actually, you know what? I did have something I wanted to mention about this match. Throw that graphic up again real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Beep.
Oh, okay. You don't have the same one I had. This match is being sponsored by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice.
Oh, I did see
what?
that.
Can we talk about a little bit of hilarity here? A little bit of what's the word that I'm looking for? Racial profiling.
Yeah.
You've got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits in a match being sponsored by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice.
Stereotype.
that is so. Oh my god.
And I'm telling you, if Snoop ain't there to come to the ring with him,
oh my god,
it's a fail.
Should have invited Snoop instead of Lil Wayne then.
Don't get me started on Lil Wayne. If this had been the year 99, 2000, I might actually given a shit about Lil Wayne being there.
WWE got to involve everybody and everything.
But yeah, this is one sponsor match where I will not have the product that it's being sponsored by as we're on the air.
Good idea, JJ. As somebody that is 99.8% straight edge. That being said, let's talk about the Second City Saint straight edge superstar that'll probably have a diet soda at ringside. Well, he'll be commentary for this. Let's talk about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, shall we? Oh, good Lord Almighty. What the hell? I thought that was more of a cluster F than I thought. Jeez, my expectations were low. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. Seth freaking Rollins defending this title against Drew McIntyre for the 4th time. Of course, Seth has been the champion since winning the title last year inaugurally at Night of Champions. But it's almost become pretty much the point, Drew McIntyre, you're the biggest afterthought right now when it comes to my goal in taking down the bloodline alongside Cody Rhodes. And arguably, CM Punk, you're just a bitter old man, and you're just sad that you're not getting the WrestleMania moment that I am. Damn and damn. But he will be on commentary, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about this. And if I know commentaries more loosely nowadays, I'm pretty sure he's going to be working straight shoot. The bottom line, though, broken dreams with Drew McIntyre make him come true, and there's a cult of personality waiting for him on the other side once he fully recuperates too. Because if there's one thing that's for sure, besides the fact that the Philly Street Fight's your bathroom break match, I think the safest prediction right now of this show is Seth freaking Rollins is not leaving with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That just comes down now to who leads with it. Because, lest we forget, Senor Money in the Bank still exists in the WWE after how many times he failed to cash it in successfully? Somebody get the stat for me. That being said, Stat Boy, let's start with you on this one. Your take on this match. Does Drew McIntyre not only beat Seth, but leave with the title? Or does Damian Priest finally cash in successfully and finally win his first world championship?
It has been teased that he will be cashing in. I just don't see him cashing in and pinning Drew. I don't see the heel cash in thing. I can see him pulling the WrestleMania thing, making the match a triple threat, and then perhaps pinning Drew to maybe put the belt on Damian. That way Seth never really got pinned to lose the belt. Seth has had a great run. So if I'm fine with him losing, I wouldn't mind keeping him going all together. So as far as the official pick, I am going to say that yes, there'll be a cash in, and yes, Damian walks out with the World Heavyweight title. That would eliminate a pick for the between Seth and Drew.
Not unless he inserts himself in there and makes it a triple threat, or he pins the winner of Seth and Drew. At the end of the day, it's still Seth and Drew at the forefront. So
if it's Seth and Drew one-on-one, I'll say Seth keeps the belt. But if Damian comes in with the cash in, then I say Damian walks out. If I can play that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You're saying
Okay.
Seth wins inaugurally and Damian Priest cashes successfully. Either way, you got Damian Priest leaving the title overall in the end. And I feel like that's what people are waiting to see actually come to fruition. That being said, hi, Big G. What's your thoughts on the World Heavyweight Championship match here? I mean, again, Damian Priest, he's kind of running out of time here, for being perfectly honest. So what's your take overall on this?
It should be a fun match. I mean, this is, you mentioned the fourth match between the two. I'm gonna go with Drew to win the title, and I do see a cash in. And Drew wins the title, and I do see a cash in, a successful cash in.
All right,
with Damian Priest walking out.
Yep, simple as that.
Simple as
JJ,
that.
anything further to add? I mean, you've been how many times in our predictions saying, yes, he cashed in. Yes, he cashed in. Yes, he cashed in. And it bit you in the ass, me included, a couple of times. What's your thoughts on this? Does Seth have a miracle and divine intervention more wilder than Joaquin Phoenix's mind? I can only imagine his gear he's going to come out with. Maybe I'll have a conductor again. Does Seth actually somehow leave with a broken back but still hold the strap, at least the inaugural match? And then Priest just pick up the scraps? Or does Drew McIntyre claim the moment for himself in front of everybody and somehow avoids Damon Priest's cash in? What's your take, JJ?
You know, I was just starting to try to formulate a scenario where I could see Seth winning.
Right?
But I think that the scenario I just cultivated would still lead to Seth losing. If that makes any sense. Because the only way I could see Seth retaining is if Punk came in and cost Drew the match because of everything that DM Hunk has been doing.
Right. Drew McIntyre, good lord.
But if Punk is healthy enough to get in, if Punk is healthy enough to lay Drew out with a GTS or even lock him into the Anaconda Vice, what's to stop Priest from coming down and cashing in on a prone Drew McIntyre, pulling off the second heist of the century?
Ding.
So, regardless, I see Priest leaving with the championship. The only way the only way Priest doesn't cash in is if they legitimately hold out till Money in the Bank this year and have him cash in 1 year after winning it.
It would be
Because that has never been done before.
correct.
I called that before. I said that might happen, but I doubt it.
Well,
But I'm calling officially for this match, Drew McIntyre wins.
Okay.
Money in the Bank gets cashed in. Priest leaves with the title. As far as what Mike said about heel on heel, it would immediately make Priest a face doing it.
Yeah.
Priest is popular anyways. And then you get more of the Scottish psychopath coming back than Drew has been by having him. He's achieved that goal. He won the title at WrestleMania, the grandest stage, in front of fans, just to have it ripped away from him.
Yep.
Just like that. Friggin' MMA call for you. And stay tuned for Walter Cruz and James Hebert for their call of GCW Bloodsport, where Monster Slammers will take on Shayna Baszler and Bryce
I can't wait for that match.
And Nick Nemeth will take on Speedball Mike Bailey this Thursday, courtesy of the Jeff Beach Network Multiverse of Media for 30 p.m. East Standard Time. Or there we go. Or 3 p.m. East Standard Time.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that's another rant I can do. If you want me to rant about that match, super chat $20 because WWE is doing such fuck all with Shayna Baszler that she's on a fucking other show to wrestle.
Tell me about it.
I'll top that a $25 super chat and I'll rant about that shit.
I'm about to say we got the biggest
don't get me wrong. Shayna versus Masha is going to be a banner, but they're doing so little of anything with Shayna that they've actually got her on another company's show to wrestle so that she gets utilized this week.
Well, her and Josh Barnett I think Josh Barnett is the one who trained Shayna Baszler.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I did,
Still.
yeah. And I did do a 7-day trial with Thriller TV to get the GCW pay-per-view because I am watching that because if that's the only time I can see Shayna Baszler during WrestleMania weekend, then give it to me. By all means, give it to me.
If only someone was able to find you a ticket somehow.
I got to work that night, but I will be watching it live.
Yeah, I look forward to watching this myself. But yeah, and
Well, make
and
sure you
forward
also
to
tune
calling
into
it.
our coverage during it as Walter and James do the commentary.
I will.
I can't
yeah.
wait to call that.
I'm gonna be listening. But that being said, but yeah.
Are you going next, Noah, or me?
Well, first off, Big G, JJ, and I are the trio that could rant all night about Shayna Baszler and WWE booking. That's a podcast in itself waiting to happen, but that's a whole different conversation. I kind of agree with the stomach here. I mean, the only other possible time David Priest could try and catch in again, Bizarro World, Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, but that's been done before by Nick Nemeth when he cashed in and arguably had the biggest cash-in pop ever in the history of WWE, more than Seth friggin' Rollins, for being quite honest here. So I think he has to do it now. Otherwise, Money in the Bank is literally a Hell's Mary, to put it in sports terms. I'm sure Statboy approves that. But at the end of the day, I don't know what's ahead at Money in the Bank in Toronto. So I got to look at right now, and I think Seth needs a break. So I'm going to say Drew McIntyre wins and Priest does cash in, because it will just further infuriate Drew, and it also will be CM Punk, who watches on, seeing it, saying simply to Drew, hey, karma's a bitch. So I'm going with y'all. I'm saying Drew wins, and there is a cash-in successfully finally. So I'm with y'all. Well, to your last, go ahead and wrap it up.
Here's my scenario. Drew cannot keep CM Punk's name out of his mouth.
Correct.
So what better way to screw him? Are you ready? Drew wins the title. Priest not only cashes in, but CM Punk stands up, takes his shirt off. He has a referee shirt on. And guess who counts the 3 when Priest cashes in? It's going to be CM Punk counting the 3 as a screw you to Drew. But Drew will get that rematch in Scotland in his hometown and win the title back then. That's what I think ends up happening. But I think Punk will have a referee shirt on underneath, and he counts the 3 when Priest cashes in.
First off, he's not a registered official, so I don't think that flies in WWE. He's not a McMahon. Secondly, yes, I just said that word. I like that idea, but again, if he's going to go into his home country, he needs to come out to Broken Dreams. Again, if he's going to make him come true, WrestleMania 40. And then stand.
Well, you can do this. You know, every match has a ref bump.
Yeah, of course.
Then CM Punk has the shirt underneath. They make him the official referee for the end of the match. He counts the 3. Then when Priest cashes in, he's still the official. He counts 3 that way. So he may give Drew the 3 to win the title, but he screws him in the end during the cash-in.
And then Drew's got an argument come Raw because, like you said, Punk's not an official, so the decision shouldn't stand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's a whole nother story.
Well, again, how many stories are to be finished, but also how many stories are to be created. Big G, I saw you had like a
the one thing though for me and Walter is gonna suck. We won't hear Punk's commentary on that match, so I'm gonna have to go back the next day and watch Punk's commentary on that match. That's the one thing I don't like. I mean, I like going to live events, but that's the one thing I don't like because we don't get to hear the commentary.
Yeah, and commentary has definitely improved in WWE with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. And Corey Grace is trying to be the play-by-play guy. I give the man credit. So, again, we'll see what happens. And, yeah, I did forget about that, to be fair.
Yeah. That's ECW, though.
But Paul Heyman owns ECW. CM Punk doesn't own WWE. Although he might own NXT if rumors are to be believed. But that's a whole different conversation for another day. Courtesy of Night Night. And stay tuned for Open Night Night, by the way, each night after WrestleMania, your weekly Saturday night shenanigans. So stay tuned for that, of course, hosted by JJ Williams after we call each night. All right. That being said, let them talk to you. Yeah, because this right here might be the sleeper of the weekend. As we have, say it with me, LA Night. Yeah. Well done, everybody. Taking on the phenomenal AJ Styles. And this simply comes off brewing jealousy of sorts, or envy. Ever since AJ Styles came back jacked more than ever, maybe sort of his own evil ways after being taken out by JJ's favorite clip that WWE loved to do over and over and over and over again.
Don't get me started.
How many times can we pay JJ the ransom now? I'm just saying on different things. Anyway, AJ Styles, of course, came back with a vengeance against LA Knight and clocked him. And every opportunity AJ Styles has seen LA Knight, he has dropped him, including costing him all the way down under in Australia in the Elimination Chamber for a chance to main event WrestleMania. And we've seen how personal this has gotten to the point that LA Knight invaded AJ's home and literally assaulted the man on his own front lawn and got arrested. Apparently, AJ Styles didn't want to press charges, though. He wants to make a statement against him at WrestleMania. And apparently, there will be something added to AJ's presentation. A new theme. Please don't be a death rebel. Blech. But anyway, it's the first time ever clash one-on-one with these two on the grandest stages of them all. And it's LA Knight. Yeah. WrestleMania debut. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if he rides up in the Slim Jim car with how many sponsors we got going on. I don't even know if this match is sponsored by anything. That's a whole different conversation. But I also look at AJ Styles' track record at WrestleMania. The first time he was involved in WrestleMania was 32 against Chris Jericho. He lost. It's one of those things where I think they are going to draw this rivalry out a little bit further, considering LA Knight has been so connected with challenging for the WWE Universal Championship. And AJ Styles, he kind of is just doing his own thing for the time being, to the point that the OC pretty much is no longer a thing. So this is one of those that I could see go either way. And honestly, either man could win and deserve the win. So let's go around and get everybody's thoughts here. So, Walter, we'll start with you on this one. Are you going with the phenomenal AJ Styles, or are you going to ride along with everybody saying LA Knight?
You know, this one's a lot harder to call than you think, because you just mentioned it. AJ doesn't have the greatest WrestleMania track record, but this is LA Knight's first WrestleMania. So, do you really want to make him lose momentum and lose his debut match? I don't know. I hate cheap finishes at WrestleMania. But I think LA Knight wins, but it's like by DQ or something, and AJ's going to beat his ass. That way he still looks strong. LA Knight pulls out the victory, but AJ technically will have to eat the loss, but he won't have to look up at the lights. So I think the rivalry's just beginning. This is maybe 2 or 3 PLE rivalry. So they're gonna go at it for a little while, but I say LA Knight wins. It's just not a pinfall victory.
Okay. I mean, how often did they do that with Shinsuke Nakamura and the dreaded low blow? I'm just saying. All right. God. So we got LA Knight so far to set discussion. Does anyone have a counter argument for the phenomenal AJ Styles? Going once. Going twice. Okay. So we're all riding along with the megastar. And again, how much has...
Wait, I think Big G is protesting,
What?
I'm protesting. I love LA Knight. I love LA Knight. I love LA Knight, but I feel like LA Knight has cooled off since the summertime. And with AJ coming back and with this new look and going this big heel turn, I think AJ Styles needs it more than LA Knight right now. So I'm going with AJ Styles.
All right. I mean, again, it's fair. And again, JJ, you and Jeff have taught to me about the roots, of course, that one Percy Pringle, of course, endorsed by the late, great Paul Bearer, God rest his soul, and the journey of the megastar that I knew as Eli Drake, who became WLA Knight. And yeah, maybe Big G, you're onto something there. He won that Slim Jim Battle Royal, so forever he'll be associated with Slim Jim. He probably owns the Slim Jim Carver, being perfectly honest. He had the chance at Crown Jewel, lost. He had a chance at Royal Rumble, lost. He had a chance at Elimination Chamber to get involved in the World Championship again, lost. How many losses can a man take? I'm just saying. So that's kind of my sentiment for LA Knight. AJ's already had the big moment at WrestleMania. It's LA Knight's debut, and I kind of think that he deserves it more. And at the end of the day, a villain doesn't need to win. A villain just needs to make a statement. Imagine if LA Knight beats AJ Styles one-on-one at WrestleMania. Who knows how violent AJ Styles could get? This is the Mr. TNA we are talking about.
Yeah.
So, still going to go, though, with AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, you make the point about LA Knight cooling off. A victory over the phenomenal one is just what he needs to reignite himself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a battle of 2 former Impact World Heavyweight Champions.
That's true. but I'm going with my gut here, and my gut says AJ Styles. Now,
And my
Noah,
gut says, yeah,
Yeah.
LA Knight.
I'm always gonna love LA Knight. Don't I did it for the points and the predictions.
And I mean, to Noah's point, he won the Slim Jim Battle Royal. This match is being sponsored by Slim Jim. You don't think that he's going to be booked to win the match? Like, come on.
Fine.
He's in the Slim Jim commercials. He's the face of Slim Jim now.
Yeah. Okay, you convinced me. Go ahead, change it, Noah.
There we go.
Oh my God. I do have a quick question though. Did
and now if AJ wins, Big G is never going to let me live it down.
No, no.
I mean, what's the OC doing? Where are the Good Brothers and all this? Could they possibly come in?
No, a quick question since you're Mr. TNA. Was AJ already gone when LA was there, or did they ever cross paths?
Oh, he was gone.
Okay.
Eli Drake came in during the late Anthem era where they had the six-sided ring, and he primarily was feuding with one EC3.
Yeah, okay. I remember now. I wasn't too sure because I think it wasn't AJ already in New Japan by then.
He was, and he was IWGP World Champion.
Okay, I thought maybe they had cross paths, but okay.
Nope. Nah, but that's all. I was always happy to bring education for it. Either way, we're all going along that gravy train. We're all with the megastar. We'll all be virtually there with Lincoln Memorial Field and the 80,000 plus on hand. With everybody saying, L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. All right. That was good. I love that. All right. Well, we're almost done here. Let's go ahead and talk about the semi-main. I put it here for one reason only. This is not a rant, but this is just a statement. God bless it, WWE. Respect your damn Royal Rumble winners, for Pete's sake, especially in the women's division. Jesus. Io Sky defends the WWE Women's Championship against Bayley. And honestly, this is Bayley hosting that line between tweener, babyface, and heel. But it's also her looking for a moment since WrestleMania 33, if being perfectly honest, and most people forgot about that because that was a hugger Bayley. This Bayley has not had a moment in front of people, period, and she carried the pandemic alongside Mercedes Moné. Argue with me if you dare. But we've seen lately, ever since Damage Control came on the scene, Damage Control looked to play Damage Control in WWE, but there was further damage along the way. And at the whole time, the mastermind, Dakota Kai, was pulling the strings. Fame really came ahead, not only when Io Sky won last year at SummerSlam, but Kairi Sane returned, and the Kabuki Warriors were reunited as Asuka decided to join Damage Control. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, can't beat him, join them. We all know the story about that. But as of lately, we've seen these beatdowns. We've seen a bit of sympathy by one Naomi and Bianca Belair, still kind of stutter step. But we also know right now what those women are doing on night one. So I guess, honestly, when you look at this match, do you have Damage Control losing both nights, including the Women's Championship? And more importantly, does Bayley, probably the most underrated of the original four horsemen of NXT, finally get her moment? That boy, I start with you. Your thoughts on this?
Io's had a good run with the belt, but it's time for something new. I'm so over Damage Control at this point. I really am. Bayley wins, gets her moment, gets the belt, give her a run, bottom line.
Yeah, man, a few words.
Short and simple to the point.
I like that. And I think, honestly, with the way they kind of been treating Bayley as far as this build goes and as far as the importance of her Royal Rumble win goes, he brings a solid point. So, again, does anyone have a disagreement to Bayley finally getting a WrestleMania moment? Going once?
No.
Going twice? All right. Well, and again, no disrespect to Io Sky, former daughter of Stardom, former World of Stardom champion, but the whole Damage Control thing's kind of just been coasting. So,
agreed.
Yes,
I don't think anybody disagrees of Bayley winning.
No.
I think it's just a matter of how people book the finish.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Damage Control trying to get involved on Io's behalf. I can see the babyface team from night one coming out to even the odds.
Yeah.
Bailey then picking up the victory that way. I think the true $1 million question here, and maybe this can be another bonus question, Noah, if you're so inclined, can message it to Bossman Rift. But I think the true $1 million question here, now that Bailey is back to being tweener, babyface, probably going to be more solidified as a face if she does win this match. Do we get an Izzy sighting at WrestleMania?
I was gonna say that.
She is going to be in Philly as part of the big WrestleCon.
Yep.
She is in the area.
Yep.
Will we get an Izzy Mania sighting if Bailey wins?
Oh man, now if that's not a full circle moment, I don't know what is.
I think Aaron
Exactly,
would be-
especially since the last time Bailey was a face, Izzy wasn't wrestling. And now she is a fully trained, independent wrestler making her own name.
Yeah.
You want to talk about finishing a story. You want to talk about a story coming full circle. We'll get to the main story next, but dude, an Izzy sighting would be a great touch to finish this story.
Not only a sighting, but a hug.
Yes.
Started with a hug, ends with a hug.
Yeah.
I can see Bailey just being reluctant at first, and then like, okay, just for you, because again, the biggest supporter of Bailey in the world was that little lady Izzy,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure
Actually-
she still is.
Back in the day when Bailey was still in NXT, was she still in NXT? She might have been on the main roster, but I didn't meet Izzy, but I did see Izzy at a live NXT show back in the day. Yeah.
And again, congrats to Izzy, by the way, in pursuing her dreams and trying to create her own wrestling journey, where maybe one day she hopes to achieve greatness of being a WWE superstar and everything that comes with it. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say we're all supporters of Bailey, but execution is key. And so far
Yes.
right now, you haven't given us that thing where it's like, okay, so why shouldn't Bailey win?
Yeah.
If anything else, you need to make Bailey be more considered here for WrestleMania weekend. I'm just saying.
You talk about long-term storytelling. I think this is the only reason Io held on the title this long, because they knew Bailey would win the Royal Rumble. They had it planned out so she can win against Io, because there's some of the matches that Io shouldn't have survived. I think she should have been lost the title. I just think this was long-term. They knew this was going to happen, so they saved her as the champ. She was just carrying it for Bailey to get her moment.
That's fair. But again, Io Sky has defended that title against Asuka and Selena and who else?
I feel like Io's title reign has been very more lackluster than Rhea's.
That I will agree with to a degree.
Yeah, I was going to say the only reason I don't completely agree with you, G, is that Io has defended the title more than Rhea has.
Okay.
Rhea's the
I
fucking
can't really
Roman
think
Reigns of the women's championship reigns.
Well, at least
Yeah.
she's on TV every week. And you actually know that she's there. You acknowledge her presence. Shall I continue? Anyway. All right, guys. Well, we talked a lot here. We thought about a lot of stories. We thought about some finishes. We've had some unanimous circumstances, but this is where it all comes down. Because it's time to talk about WrestleMania 40's closing two-day main event. Let's try and finish this story. Roman Reigns defends the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship for the second year in a row against the two-time consecutive Royal Rumble winner, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The only thing we don't know is if this match will be normal or under blood Bloodline rules as official by the marquee, considering we don't know Saturday's ending. And we'll find out soon enough. We all have followed this story verbatim for both men the entire way since the tribal chiefs existed, since the American Nightmare returned. We have seen both their paths, both their roads. We have seen all their obstacles and every threat and encounter possible. Both men have suffered life-threatening injuries and have overcome them. Both men have faced nothing but nonstop lifelong adversity, whether you look at the Roman Reigns documentary or the Cody Rhodes documentary. And yes, I've looked at both. But at the end of the day, you look at the root of this, it is about family. It is truly about family. The newest gear by Roman Reigns says family above all. Why Cody Rhodes famously proclaims wrestling has more than one royal family. And at the middle of this, you have not only Paul Heyman, who has roots so deep with the Rhodes and the United family, you now have the final boss in the middle of all this too, in The Rock.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything else. I just laid out the elements for you. It's like literally creating a research paper. This is y'all's time to finish the story, and I'm just here to be a part of the journey and then give my thoughts. So, everybody, let's go around the horn and get your thoughts. I think it's only fitting we start with the people that are going to be there first and save the man that is truly the greatest storyteller I know here in Multiverse Media last. So, that being said, Big G, what will be your final outlook of your WrestleMania 40 experience? Does Cody Rhodes finish the story, or is the story yet to be finished?
So, man, I mean, I don't want to say this match is hard to predict, but in a way it is. You know, if we do end up getting like the Bloodline rules match, anything can happen in this match. We can have interference from the Bloodline, from Solo, from the Rock to Jimmy. You know, we could have Jey Uso potentially going back to the Bloodline and screwing Cody. Or you could go the other way and have Cody win clean over Roman Reigns. Either way, this match should be good. I'm going to be hyped for this match because me and Walter both are going to be there. So whoever wins, just being there in that atmosphere, I feel like we're gonna have, I don't know, God. I mean, I'm kind of wanting Roman to retain because I'm sure eventually he'll pass Hogan's title reign, but then I kind of want Cody to win the title. That way, we don't have to hear about finishing the story anymore, and he can go on to face, you know, people like Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre, whatever show, you know, Cody lands. Well, he might, if he wins, he's probably going to go into SmackDown since the world title is on Raw, unless they do the draft and they swap titles. Anyways, oh my God, I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm gonna go Cody wins the title and finish his story here under Bloodline rules.
Oh, okay. So you do think that Bloodline rules are going to come into play officially, or do you think that the Bloodline is just going to get involved, be like a ref bump or something?
I think either way, the Bloodline's gonna interfere somehow, whether it be Bloodline rules or if we get a ref bump and the Bloodline interferes. If that makes any sense.
No, I get that. Again, I've said it verbatim. Can you name one match where the Bloodline did not get involved on behalf of their tribal chief to preserve the title for the family? At the end of the day, Roman's not the champion. Bloodline is the champion. That's been my take of it since arguably last year's WrestleMania. Walter, what's your take on this story? Is it just another big cliffhanger longer than a season of Pokemon, or does Cody Rhodes finally finish this, and is it more than a marketing ploy? What's your take? You're going to be there live too.
Yeah. It is hard to predict for me because you're so close to Hogan's record. When the hell are you ever going to get someone to get this close to Hogan's record? So, like, do you really reset and do all that all over again for someone 15, 20 years down the line to somehow get close when you can't catch lightning in a bottle that many times? Like, you already had a Hogan, You already had a Rock. You already had a Cena. And now you got Roman. Like, how many that big, huge stars can you get like that? Like, I get that every generation is going to have one, but this one's really hard because it's almost like I want to see what happens if they do get to Hogan's record. And not only that, but the damn timing of Roman Reigns' documentary is so damn wrong now because you did it right before WrestleMania. Like it almost, I think they did it on purpose to create the doubt. Like I really think that was done by marketing on purpose, and it's funny that they did that. But and we all had this "don't bet against Roman" mentality
for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
and to think that Roman almost retired.
Yeah. And he's still taking medication and everything for that. So
good grief, man.
He needs to break though. Even though he has to break and isn't, go be with your family for a while, then come back as the face that name redacted always wanted you to be. Go away for a little while. Make me miss you. I say Cody wins.
Okay. Stat Boy, we talked a little bit about, again, the stats that's been broken, the stats that could be broken. I mean, again, he's in the top 5. He's beyond Mount Rushmore. He's his own immortal obelisk here. So, Stat Boy, I now throw it to you before we give it to the man that will finish the story in a way he believes it may go through. So, Stat Boy, your stats and your take.
Another stat that possibly is a chance of being broken. This is their 45th match against each other. Tag team match is 44. The championship match is 45. I hate to upset my favorite niece in the whole wide world. Natalie, I love you, but it is time for Roman to lose. Because let's face it, you're going to upset one group of fans. You're either going to upset the Cody Crybabies or you're going to upset the Roman fans. There are still Roman fans out there.
Virtue.
We've been talking over and over and over. Finish the story. Finish the story. Finish the story. Again, I don't know which way they're going to go. I'm still on the mindset, and it's the slightest of issues because I am so over finish the story. Finish the story already. Get it done. Now, if Cody does finish the story, it's already been stated many times, you can't duplicate what Roman's done. There's no point in it.
Finish the story has been said so much, they made it the tagline of the new video game.
Yeah, exactly.
Marketing 101.
And with the potentiality of bloodline rules and everybody coming in to get their shots on Cody, Cody has been beaten up enough. He got beat up by The Rock. He got beat up last night. He's probably going to get a beat down on SmackDown. He's probably going to get hurt pretty bad on Saturday night. All that adversity comes to a head, and he finally comes out on top. Cody Rhodes wins. If not, I'll take the loss.
JJ, look, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result. We are 2 years in a row at the immortal stage of WrestleMania with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. I know the proverbial saying also is third time's the charm, but do we need to run back this deeper than a Fast and Furious franchise if we're being perfectly honest here? This has gone on for too damn long. I said verbatim, literally twice last year, and it effed me. If Cody was not going to be the guy, maybe Drew could be the guy. If somebody of legacy can't do it, why can't Blood? And Jay lost. Seriously, JJ, I understand your mind sometimes. I understand where you come from as before a long-term storytelling. I understand you're talking about let it simmer. How long do you let water boil before it turns into a fucking vapor? Seriously. So I seriously got to agree with the consensus here. And I fear that you and your daughter And I don't mind pissing off children because I work with children for a living on a weekly basis at church. But the bottom line is Cody needs to finish the story to give some sort of reset in identity in the WWE champion. Even if it's called the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Fuck that. It's the WWE Championship. The story is about the title connected to the family and the moment. And why they got the setting wrong more times than you can count. At this point, I don't need to wait to see their story finish. I don't need to wait on One Piece or Pokemon or the longest running anime on Crunchyroll to finally get to the damn climax finale, all right? Seriously, I'm done with that shit. So seriously, I want you to do your damnedest to convince me otherwise, or anybody else here, but I'm always going to be the hardest proponent because unlike everybody here, I do not acknowledge the tribal chief. How's that for some hot shit? Cody needs to win, damn it. JJ, go ahead and finish this thing off. Finish the story.
Well,
Follow that, JJ.
how do you, right? Like Noah with some Shawn Michaels shit right here, freaking coming back through the curtain. Follow that. How long do you let the water simmer before it turns into vapors? I believe that was the question you posed.
Yep.
163 days. That is the magic number.
Jesus.
That is the number of days left before our tribal chief surpasses Hogan's reign. A date that falls ironically on a Friday the 13th. We won't get into all the superstitions that we can play there. The bottom line is this. And I had a great speech in my head, and then you went on that diatribe, and I forgot half of it, if I'm being honest. But Mikey, you're a sports guy, right?
Yes, sir.
More so than probably everybody else in the room. I know G does some sports, but you're the sports guy, right? Let me
Yes,
ask
sir.
you this. Babe Ruth steps up to the plate. Do you bet against him
Yes.
to hit a home run?
No.
Wayne Gretzky touches the ice. Do you bet against him scoring a goal?
No.
Tom Brady touches the gridiron. You bet against him throwing a touchdown pass?
No.
Wrong quarterback.
Work with me, asshole.
No, you don't bet
Unfortunately, I
against
would
Tom
not
Brady.
bet
Thank
against
you,
him.
G. Kobe Bryant touches the hardwood.
Mamba.
You bet against him making a goal? Shooting a
No.
basket?
Nope.
Ali gets in the ring. You bet against him winning?
I get where you're going with this. You've made
Then
your
answer
point.
the goddamn question, stat boy.
No, I would not bet against Ali.
So why do you bet against Roman Reigns?
I'm over it. We had this talk a few
For
months ago.
1,312 days, he has been excellence personified. Every time we have thought about betting against him, every time any of us have bet against him,
Yeah. Plenty.
we have had to take that L.
Yep.
We've had to eat our words. Until the day comes when he finally does lose that championship, how do you bet against him? And I know everybody wants it to end. But since the Saturday open mic night after WrestleMania last year, I have been the one person championing that this doesn't need to end at WrestleMania. This doesn't need to end at SummerSlam. This doesn't need to end at Saudi Arabia. This needs to end at fucking Madison Square Garden. I've been saying it so much that other podcast hosts have begun saying it, and of course, nobody wants to give me my fucking credit. But that's a whole other argument for another day.
Accurate.
The time and the place for the story to end is the same place that the story began, where Dusty defeated superstar Billy Graham via countouts, only to have the championship ripped from his hands because the title can't change hands via a countout. Your winner on Sunday, and still WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, our tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
No,
Acknowledge him.
you're not convincing me.
Wow.
Does anybody want to make a small bet?
Oh God, here we go.
I'm not a big baller like G, but there
I'm
are
not
4 of
either.
you in the room. I will bet $5 ahead.
Unfortunately,
Anybody want to take me up on a $5 bet?
I'll take you on that. I'll take you on that $5 bet.
Fuck it, I'll
Okay.
double down. $10.
Well, it's a $5 bet. So
No,
it's
no.
10 I will lose,
no.
yes, but
I'm
anybody
not
else want to
confident
take
enough.
it?
I'm not confident enough. I said that Roman might win because you would never ever get someone this close to Hogan.
Mikey?
I'm good on. I'm betting on baseball. I'm good.
Okay. So I've got a $5 bet with Noah and a $5 bet with G. It's documented on this video.
Yeah, make it official. The PayPal pool. Look, and the thing is, this literally might be Cody's last shot. But the fact that Roman said on Monday Night Raw, he might literally could be gone or go away if Cody wins it at this point. It's almost like a no-lose situation for either individual, but for Roman, it just sounds like it's more of the same because it's almost like he already declared himself the winner. And the suspension of disbelief is so damn lopsided with how bad Cody has been whooped like a government mule by the final boss and Roman. And we've all spoken verbatim. Does the tag match truly have implications on this when you know the bloodline's going to be involved on behalf of the tribal chief? It's just a matter of how deep they're involved. Is it just Jimmy and Solo again, or does The Rock play factor this time? Because unlike last year, you now have The Rock involved in bloodline business. He's the final boss.
Why not have The Rock get involved and it messes up and costs Roman the title? And that's how you get the Roman versus Rock next year.
Shoot, I'm still eating crow after a year and a half.
I know.
Rocket never is going to come back, and here we are, 4
I
days.
know.
I'm eating.
I
crow.
know. And the other thing that really has me thinking that Roman is going to do this, and granted, they haven't made this official, but they said a few times in promos that if Cody loses, he never gets a shot again.
As long
Yes.
as Roman's champion, yeah.
That's what things like Money in the Bank are for.
Mm-hmm.
Cody wins the briefcase, he gets a title shot anytime, any place against anyone. They end up booking the Garden for that Friday the 13th. You know they're going to have Roman on the show because it'll be the day that he surpasses Hogan. Hell, they might even have Hogan on the show too.
Hey.
Well,
Cody's
And
such a
then
face,
you
he'll
get
probably call
that
it ahead of time.
briefcase. Then you get that briefcase cash in less than a month before WWE SmackDown leaves the Fox network. Talk about a big fuck you to Fox for not wanting to re-sign them, not paying enough to re-sign them. We just gave you your biggest ratings ever, and you will never see it again because in 2 weeks we're ghost.
JJ's
Rock-
onto something.
Yeah, I mean, Rock Lady said verbatim, Raw made history having the biggest gate ever for Monday Night Raw in the Barclays. So, again, now we also, I'm just going to say this also, just a little side tangent. We also said that WWE is not too big to fail. And that's a whole different conversation. But the thing is, ever since The Rock came back, I just feel there's a so nuance with him where it's like, is he truly there for Roman, or does the final boss not have his own agenda, and does he not outpower Roman Reigns? I mean, again, the first time he was there, he had that different signal. We saw the embrace. The Rock's there. I think there's more behind those sunglasses than meets the eye when it comes to the final boss. I smell something cooking, but I just don't know if it's cooking with Rock and Roman or arguably what's been the saga lately, Rock and Cody. At this point, it's a matter of what do you want to see now come next? And is the title just playing second fiddle?
Gentlemen, the best stories come in 3 acts. They come in trilogies. To your point you said earlier, third time is the charm. This is only round 2. I don't care if they fought 43 other times before Saturday. That wasn't the American Nightmare and Roman Reigns. That was Stardust. That was Dashing. That was all the other incarnations of Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has the American Nightmare and Roman Reigns fought?
Ay. I
smell what JJ's cooking.
All I'm going to say is this. There's a reason why JJ and I are commentary and I am play-by-play and he's color, but damn it, this match might make me color because we are opposite as hell here. If Cody
Thank you, Keen A-Train. I appreciate that, bro.
Damn it, King, you're supposed to be unbiased. Anyway, if Cody wins, I'm going to put a Ric Flair celebration-esque and friggin' probably tear apart my room. If Roman wins, I'm going to do something I'm going to regret probably in this room.
In Philly, just like when they won the Super Bowl, if Roman wins on Saturday or on Sunday night, Philly is just gonna tear up. They're gonna riot.
They're gonna riot.
I think so because I think people can see it going either way because JJ makes a hell of a point, but then you get. And I wouldn't mind. And you know, Cody's such a babyface that if he did win the Money in the Bank, he'll call that ahead of time. We got to show him Madison Square Garden and get ready to cash this in.
How many babyface Money in the Bank winners were successful after calling their shot? Hello, John Cena.
RVD was.
RVD.
Yeah.
Name another. More recent.
The Money in the Bank almost seems it's made for heels, though. It's not really made for a face to carry it.
Agreed, but I'm just saying that's your loophole. That's your loophole.
I respect JJ's opinion. I understand Madison Square Garden should be the setting, but at this point, you don't know the next time they're going to go to MSG, and they've already dropped the ball on it once. Here we're at the same stage, but a different city, and we're 1 year later, and this bloodline story is in a whole different inning with the final boss inclusion. It just feels like to me right now, you can't put more factors in front of Cody than this. If he doesn't overcome this, he might as well never become champion because at this point, you think about Cody's pursuit of finishing the story, that takes away the opportunity from somebody else in WWE trying to create a story. So how many times do we need to run the same never-ending story before Cody finishes his and we try and see what we can do with somebody else? Again, redundancy is getting old with me, no matter how many additional components you put into it.
We're also forgetting how many Anoa'i people there are, or Fatus. There's a lot. I called it, what did I say on Open Mic? I called it a factory. They just keep spitting them out. So you never know if another Fatu or Anoa'i is sitting in the back and debuts here.
But Jega Fatu, Tamatanga, Blank Fatu here. It's just baffling to me how deep these roots are in WWE, and to the point that there's no gardening tool that can freaking uproot them at this point, besides putting your faith in maybe Cody Rhodes. But again,
and here's something else to think about.
Yes.
That, ironically, watching the Bray Wyatt documentary made me ponder. The year is 2010. Husky Harris debuts on NXT.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's his pro?
Cody.
Rhodes.
Bo Dallas has been teasing a return as Uncle Howdy. Who's in the main event of WrestleMania?
Cody.
Rhodes. And
Just
Roman,
something to ponder. And
Roman
that
and
was released around the same time as the Roman biography, Walter. You want to talk about
Mhm.
marketing?
marketing. All the marketing.
But also, if Cody wins, do we get a Cody Rock 1-on-1 for that title?
I think
SummerSlam.
Does Rock need to face anybody for a title, though? I'm just saying.
Let's be honest, Noah. If Cody wins, with the way that Rock has been brutalizing him the last few weeks, you don't think Rock is going to make himself a title match against Cody?
Hey, he's
Hell
a
yeah.
boss. He can do what the hell he wants. So.
And do you think The Rock is just going to challenge for the title on a random SmackDown or Backlash in France? Fuck no.
No.
SummerSlam.
No. All right.
Let's use. If common sense was common, more people would use it. And I know WWE doesn't book with common sense, but let's give Papa H a little bit more credit than we gave old Vinnie Mac. Okay.
That I will agree with. I will agree with you on that. That's one thing you and I can agree with. I will agree with you on that verbatim. But either way, it just feels like to me, if it doesn't happen here, I don't truly believe I can ever think it's going to happen. And at this point, if it's not Cody, who would win? Rock and Roman doesn't need the title. I could have sworn at one point you said Rock and Roman did not need the title because we talked about that match too.
Yeah, I just put it in the comments. Wrestling Chris. Rock and Roman doesn't need the title. The title is Tribal Chief, head of the table.
Yeah.
And The Rock.
And we'll still have 365 days minimum till we get to that match again. All thanks to the Cody Crybabies costing it to us this year.
And where's SummerSlam? Cleveland, right?
Yes, it's in Cleveland,
yes, sir.
Ohio.
Rock's first concert. What wasn't one of his concerts in Cleveland where he said it doesn't rock, it sucks?
Yep, he did that against I think it was against John Cena during their first WrestleMania
He
build
can
up
challenge
to
Cody
28.
right in Cleveland.
It does make sense for The Rock to be at SummerSlam in Cleveland. I actually might go to SummerSlam again. What is it about SummerSlam and the fact that me and JJ haven't called a whole SummerSlam yet? It's kind of funny. It's like one show me and JJ can't call.
If Cody wins and it's Rock Cody in SummerSlam, I might have to fly my ass to Ohio for that.
And you and I could meet at the Cleveland Con Andrews restaurant and carpool from there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if nothing else, one thing's for sure, we're definitely in for one hell of a ride this weekend. And as far as who finishes the story, you just gotta wait and see. But I think with that being said, that concludes the predicting. So good job, everybody. It's been a hell of a conversation.
Yes.
Again, folks, let us know your thoughts, your tail end to the story. How do you spin the narrative? And again, do you think Cody finishes in victory or once again in defeat? Does he go from undeniable to undisputed? Or at this point, is it impossible? And again, Walter and Big G, enjoy it live. And I'm not going to lie, kind of a little bit jealous. And I can't wait to hear your aftermath report once you get back from the venue and regain your voice. Before we conclude,
Yeah, I'm not going to have a voice.
Yeah, right.
You guys are having your meetup at 1 p.m. Sunday, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So that's 10 a.m. our time. Okay. If we are on the air, I will send one of you guys the link so you guys can try to pop in live from the meetup and get all the people that showed up to hang out with you guys on the air.
Hey,
Oh yeah, that might be where we drink
If
the prime.
If we're not on the air, try to film like a 1 minute or something video and then send it to me or Jeff via Messenger so we can show it during the show.
Definitely. I definitely.
Definitely.
Sounds good. Before we conclude,
I prime.
good grief.
Go ahead, Noah. Get us out of here, bro.
Be brought to us by Prime. We'll go ahead and address this super chat real quick while we're talking about Joaquin Phoenix's probably last stand as worldwide champion. As far as this goes, Seth Rollins' gimmick. I don't know if he means like the visionary, the architect, or one of his drip designs, because I sure as hell can't pick one. Maniacal Monday Night Messiah, or what he's been now. Does anyone have anything to say regarding Seth friggin' Rollins' character development over the run that we've seen Tyler Black in WWE?
I like the Shield the best.
I'm going to go with Authority right after the heel turn.
I don't know. I'm liking this drip god Seth Rollins. It's I think this is Seth or Tyler being Tyler.
I think I would like this one more. I think I would like this one more if he didn't look like he was stealing clothes from Becky's side of the closet.
Hey,
Hell
are Becky,
yeah.
are Becky and like sharing the same wardrobe? Because I swear,
Becky should have put that in her book. I'm missing clothes.
I feel like people.
It might be in there. I haven't gotten that far yet.
I think Becky did mention, or Seth did mention that, like, that Seth is using the same wardrobe person as Becky.
The same stylist.
The same stylist.
Yeah, stylist. Thank you.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's still Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks' husband was a stylist in WWE. I wonder if he's still there.
He's still there, as far as I know.
Well, I know one thing for sure. You two will be there at WrestleMania, so good luck. God bless you. Have an incredible time. And we will be on the call both Saturday and Sunday. And all I got to say with that, Statboy figure for the stats. I'm sure he'll give us more information that I can definitely use during our call. I'll be happy to do that. And again, folks,
Absolutely.
just plug up for the ride. Simple as that. We are truly days away. And with that being said, this has been an incredible video to end this fine little Tuesday. It's a big opportunity in the Sleepy Predicting. Before we conclude, Statboy, again, always a pleasure. It's a rare commodity scene on Sleepy Predicting. Anything you want to plug up about, and where can people, of course, connect with you and your lovely positive barkeep Dory Liv?
Follow us on Twitter at LBStadKid1977 and Hathaway Lou on Twitter or X, at Dory Lou on Instagram, at Statboy13 on Instagram. There are our names on Facebook. Getting closer and closer to Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA playoffs, and baseball season just started. And just remember, use the hashtag Statboy approved and Statgirl approved. Thank you, family. I love you all. Statboy out.
Appreciate you always, Statboy. Check out the Statboy Sports Bar every week, of course, with Statboy Mike and, of course, Statgirl Dory Lou right here at courtesy of Casa 18 Studios every Tuesday night. So if you want a great sports discussion, pull up a seat and join the Statboy Sports Bar. Appreciate you, Statboy. Well, again, Walter, have an incredible time. I don't know if you're going to need product before or afterwards, or if you're already throwing some now. But besides that, anything you want to plug or promote, and where can people connect with you?
Definitely on X. At Walter Alex Cruz. Even though they suspended me right now,
Twitter prison.
I'm suspended just for saying that The Rock. That if you believe wrestling's fake, let me try to hit you with the belt and see if it doesn't hurt. And I got the threat of violence banned. But anywho, Instagram is Cal5 Farm, and then stay tuned to Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel. We may have something special with JJ Thursday. We're waiting on a yay or nay for something, so we might have something special for Thursday since it is WrestleMania week. But also Thursday at noon, 1 o'clock, please, GCW, tune in. I just set up. Thank you, G, for saying that about the free trial, because I just signed up for it so that we have the link now. We can link up me and James, but me and James will be doing the watch along on all of our channels, the Casa de 18 Studios, Jeff Meacham Network, my channel, James' channel. So tune in. I cannot wait to call that. You know, I'm the blood sport. It just reminds me of MMA. I'm the MMA sports guy, and we got so much coming up. So just stay tuned to all the channels, as Noah says.
I say all the wrestling, but I mean that's a good sub tangent. Again, I don't trademark anything. I don't market myself. All right, fair enough. Well, Big G, this was your first time at Sleepy Predicting. I certainly hope it's not your last. I hope you had a great time, and I hope you also have an incredible time live at WrestleMania. I know you do a lot with Parker Kane Promotions, and again, you're always balling big time. So where can people plug and go ahead and plug your stuff where people can promote and find you.
Well, if you have TikTok, I've been doing my WrestleMania countdown on there at Big Baller G 1988. X at NoDQ_Big Baller G. I just threw out the invite or the link to the Facebook event for Sunday, April 7th, and Instagram at NoDQ_Big Baller G 1988. Thank you. And yes, and Aaron also plugged it on X as well. So hopefully we'll get. I think we got like 5. We got a couple people so far saying that they're going. So hopefully we'll get a decent turnout.
Yeah.
I will be. Well, if we can't join in, if you guys aren't live, then like I said, we'll make a couple videos of the meetup, and then if you guys are live, I'll try to go live with you guys before the show starts. If not, I might do some recordings and then send it to you guys because I know the Wi-Fi and the signal is probably going to suck because.
Oh yeah.
So.
Probably be better off just using data.
Yeah.
Well, at least before Monday when the eclipse is supposed to shut down the networks for a period of time. But yeah, science. Good grief almighty. All right, good stuff. And again, as Walter alluded to, thank you, JJ. Please follow Walter on the social medias, as he always likes to hashtag stick to his shtick and keep to his product. So there you go. You can see it at Rage Wrestling YouTube, Catfire, Instagram. Walter Alex Cruz once he's released from Twitter prison, probably on parole with good behavior. I still can't believe that happened to you.
He's doing more time in jail than Dom did.
Damn!
I might have a new gimmick when I get back up.
In jail, he was freaking down in the county for a demeanor. Don't get me started, okay? We didn't get super chats for rants, and I already did my diatribe on Roman Reigns, and I'm gonna stand by that.
We had ex-con Dom. Now we'll have inmate Cruz.
There you go, inmate Cruz.
Inmate Cruz, put that on the shirt. Don't do that. JJ, again, man, let's fucking go with this weekend. But in the meantime, you still have a busy week ahead of you, so where can people connect and find you?
You can find me, of course, on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on Twitter, ROWJJ Williams. YouTube is Casa D18 Studios. You can check me out every Monday through Thursday with my show For the Love of Wrestling, where I review all the week's worth of stuff. That's an outdated graphic.
Yep.
I'll have to send you the new one, as I've taken Rampage and Collision off of that, but I still pretty much review all the major shows from the major companies. Monday, I talk Impact and SmackDown. Tuesdays is Raw. Wednesday is NWA Power and NXT. Thursday is AEW Dynamite. Every Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. The time is still accurate. Also this week, you can check out some very special Casa D18 Studios reviews episodes where I take a look at some of the wrestler biographies and documentaries to kind of push the road to WrestleMania. Yesterday, I reviewed Superfan, the story of Vladimir. Today, it was the epic journey of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Tomorrow, it's going to be American Nightmare becoming Cody Rhodes. Thursday, it's going to be Bray Wyatt becoming immortal. And wrapping things up on Friday with, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And there's a rumor, not a spoiler like Heyman, but there is a rumor that comes Sunday between the Slammies and the kickoff of night 2, there might just be a stream talking about the Roman Reigns documentary. So you're going to have to stay tuned and see if that does come to fruition. People that are subscribed to the members only section, $5 a month, are getting those videos early. Everybody else has to wait until 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday to see those. People in the members only section are getting them as soon as they're done and edited. So if you want to see them early, subscribe. It's only $5 a month.
Again, what a bargain. There you go. And again, you have another $5 if he's right, but I really hope you're wrong. And again, we will see what happens soon enough this weekend too. So again, thank you all for tuning in to this Super Doing Special for WrestleMania 40. This has been panel 1. I'm going to have friends of the Multiverse Mia and Champions of Predictions with me on Thursday, because if WWE superstars and anybody in WWE can talk to 15 different people about the same damn thing, I can talk to multiple people 2 nights this week regarding the biggest show of the professional wrestling industry. So I'm looking forward to more on that. And then, of course, tomorrow night, Super Predicting will continue as the simple agenda for me continues to unfold for the entire week. of WrestleMania. As of course, tomorrow night we'll be covering NXT Stand Deliver. Again, second panel, full on WrestleMania will be Thursday night, and then Friday, the weekend, picks everything up with Ring of Honor, Car of Honor predictions, coverage, the Hall of Fame coverage. And Saturday and Sunday, me and JJ own each of those days and nights with NXT Stand Deliver, WrestleMania, Open Mic Night, WrestleMania Sunday, and of course the Raw after Mania. As Walter Cruz alluded to, he and James will be on the call Thursday for Bloodsport. I look very forward to seeing how Walter Cruz handles the play-by-play role in his genre. So have a great call, and especially for this match, because let's freaking go. Shayna Baszler in her element. Enough said. And again, folks, there's so much still ahead this entire week as we roll towards WrestleMania 2. But as always, let to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions with passion that we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that. But with that said, thank you once again for tuning in to a fantastic edition of WrestleMania Simply Predicting. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell as this video goes live on demand on either of our YouTube channels. Hit the subscribe button. Help us keep growing our YouTube communities. I assure you, our passion, content, creativity, our outlook on all things wrestling is not letting up anytime soon. Go check out the latest EW impromptu I did with King and Eric, where we also previewed WrestleMania. And again, you guys know I make things official with prediction forums as I try prediction leagues. So Big G, Walter, JJ, me, the entire No DQ family, team, and galaxy. Good luck to all of you as we head towards WrestleMania. Still a very tight race after 2 shows. Here's show 3. As of course, Stand Deliver will cover tomorrow. That will be the next show in the NXT League. The forum for WrestleMania will be in the description down below once this video concludes. But I think with that being said for now, I think that's enough chat. Let's all get some Z's. You guys be prepared for your trips. And JJ, I'll see you tomorrow night. Statboy, thank you. And thank all of you as I bid you now a fine adieu. So until tomorrow night, where we simply predict NXT Stand Deliver with another illustrious panel of wonderful friends and fans of professional wrestling too. You know how I always leave you. Make a positive impact in life and have a good night. Gentlemen, been a pleasure. And everybody, let's get ready for WrestleMania! Have a good night, folks.
GCW!